I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. I was like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates, and she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day, 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. You know, every day he pushes it. From, you know, the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So you know that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so excited. My heart's pumping, my hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksonek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets. no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're going to take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's going to help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's going to save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Welcome back to the show. It is week 10, Got Your Six Racing Network. We are here at Port Royal. And as always here, Got Your Six Racing Network. We are racing for awareness of veterans issues. 22 veterans a day take their own lives, which is 22 too many. Throughout the night, you'll see us play promos out there by organizations doing great things for veterans. If you have the means to donate, please do so. If you don't, and you know a veteran out there, maybe you haven't heard from in a while, call them up or go by, check on them, make sure they're doing all right, show them some love. That would be greatly appreciated. So we're going to stick with the norm. We're about to call the drivers off the track. You will go with us. I got Clayton Hack in the booth with me once again. Clayton, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, how you doing?
We
ready
are
to get this show on the road.
Yes, sir. Here we go. All drivers, clear the track. All drivers, clear the track, please. We will have a quick drivers meeting here.
Lights. Just remember the norm, the usual that we roll with here tonight. Blinking, excessive blinking tonight. 1, you'll get a warning. 2, we'll re-rack and throw a caution, and you'll receive an EOL. No call-outs on Discord of any kind. No messages, no call-outs, nothing like that. Just take a breather, have a discussion about it. We're just here for a fun, good time. And that is about it until we kick off the racing. I'll have Joe give you guys a rundown once we go green for the heats.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is the drivers' meeting. We're getting ready to go qualifying here. Again, as you heard, this is week 10. We will get qualifying underway here, getting a few things squared away in the booth, some admin stuff. And then we'll take a quick look at the points tonight. Again, we have 3 more races to get this done in the 358 modifieds. Grant Wesley with the lead, but does not have a win. Michael Carter's in P2, Chris Cox in 3, Joseph Grandy in 4, and Cale Smith is in P5. The significance of Grant Wesley not having a win in the 358 modifieds. We have the week 13 dash for cash coming up, $500 on the line, and that is for feature winners. And you must have raced in at least 6 weeks of the season. This year we do plan on loading up that field a little heavier than we did last season, so we will have at least 16 drivers in the field. We have 8 currently qualified that have won features and have 6 races. So another 8 drivers. We're going to go by accumulation of the 3 divisions in points, and that's how we're going to determine who fills out that field. But right now, Isaac Salas at the top of the board with a 19.670. The Super Dirt Car Series driver driving for Venom Racing. Isaac Salas to the top of the board. Now Cale Smith in the 115. Put the CTM driver, that doesn't last long. Isaac Salas puts down a 19.577. So the 115 and the 5 battling it out. Kurt Schatzer in the 18, currently 5th quick out on track. Driving for the Dirt Track Bank.
I remember the 5 and the 115 last week having some tough battles through the first 2 series that we ran last Friday night. So it looks like it might be another repeat for the both of those guys going at it all night tonight.
Oh, here's a development. We're following along with Michael Carter. It looks like he got into the wall on both laps. So he will start in the back of his heat race. Following along with the 213, that is Michael Vitale. Like to thank Michael for his service to our country in the United States Air Force. 13th quick for Michael. James Ingram, he is the father of the Ingram boys, the 40 car driver out of Georgia out on track, currently 19th quick. Grant Wesley moves up to 6th quick, 19.857. Like to welcome back the 97 car. That is Butch Baker, Venom Racing driver. He was with us last season. Just got signed back up about 20 minutes ago. So the 97 car out on track.
Grant Wesley kicking himself up into the top 6 right now, sitting 6th. Randy Shreves also up into the top 5. Usually we don't see him up towards the top when it comes to modifieds until we actually get racing. So he might just be getting a head start on tonight, if you will, positioning himself currently P5.
Yeah, the 56 car, not typically known for his modified prowess, but he is at in the front few. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Isaac Salas, Jeffrey Kemper on the front row. Kurt Schatzer, Anthony Marfulio in row number 2. Jesse Ingram, Anthony Vitale Jr. in row number 3. Samuel Bachman, Jake Henry round out your field of 8 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to Heat 1. Leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Last I looked, everyone heading to the feature. Race hard, race clean. Put on a great show. Welcome to A&J Landscaping Week 10 here at Port Royale. All right, Clayton, what are you looking for?
I'm honestly excited to watch Randy Shreves towards the front of his heat race, looking pretty strong tonight. I'm very excited to see Michael Carter from the back. In this heat race, me looking at it, Jesse Ingram's usually a heavy hitter, P5, in the number 7 black and green modified tonight. We could see possibly him work himself up a little bit. Anthony Vitale, he seems to be getting the hang of these. I know he struggled a little bit, but he's slowly getting the hang of them. Jason Henry, I've been running with him for the last 2 or 3 nights consecutively, and he's able to pick up spots left and right. So there's a couple guys that are very fast. They may not have the consistency, but I know they have the speed starting towards the back here.
So Isaac Salas will bring us to the green flag. They're coming into turn 3. The 5 car will be looking for that green flag coming into turn 4. They can see the flag stand from there, waiting for the flag man to get this kicked off. Green flag is out. We are underway. It is Isaac Salas and Jeffrey Kemper. You got a North Dakota driver in the 5, the 181. That's Jeffrey Kemper out of Oregon. My teammate Kurt Schatzer in that 18 machine. You see some contact back there.
Got a yellow.
Back it down, back it down. Let's take a quick look. Tonight's replay is brought to you by the Dirt Track Bank.
Yeah, it looks like the 7 of Ingram pushes Anthony Vitale up, and it causes Vitale to bounce off the wall and come back down into the 007. So it's looking like I'll have to check it one more time just to be sure. I don't want to make the wrong call here, but it's looking like the 7 of Jesse Ingram's going to be going to the back here.
There is the contact.
Car number 7, EOL.
So put Jesse Ingram to the back of the field. We will line him back up and try once again. Isaac Salas in the 5 car again on that front row. He's going to be a tough customer to get by in that 5. Jeffrey Kemper will line up on the outside. Kurt Schatzer will line up on the inside of row number 2. I guess we'll line him back up. We're only on lap 2 of 8.
Yeah, almost any kind of racing I get in, if it's dirt modifieds of any kind, Isaac Salas seems to be in that server, and he's either just outside P1 or he is sitting P1. He's very fast, very consistent here. So we'll see if he can keep off Jeffrey Kemper and Kurt Schatzer behind him and bring this one to the checkered.
Yeah, I had a big win in the World Finals, the Dirt Track Bank World Finals last month. Took home the whole show. He won the modified race. So, yeah, he can get it done in just about anything he drives. Always shout out to Isaac Salas up in North Dakota, working out in the oil fields, getting the oil out of ground to lower our gas prices, I hope.
Oh, thank you for that one, Isaac.
Yeah, man. Here we go. Pace truck should exit this time by. We'll leave the field again. The restart will be on the 5 car.
And it looks like the 238 of Anthony. It looks like Anthony Marv Julio is just now pulling off a pit road, so he will be behind. He will not be able to catch the field when they go green here.
Isaac Salas looking for the green flag. Good start by the 5. The 181 of Kemper stays to the outside. Makes a little bit of contact with Kurt Schatzer in that 218. Schatzer down low with Vitali Jr. They make contact with the 181. That pushes Jeff back to P4.
And while they're all fighting, Jason Henry's being able to find some moisture middle to bottom of the track, and he's been able to pick up a few spots since that restart as well.
That's the 171. Jake Henry battling it out with the James Bond Samuel Bachman 007. Jesse Ingram, who you heard just got the latest EOL, currently at the back of the field. Up front, Isaac Salas leading the way. Schatzer, Anthony Vitali Jr., Jeff Kemper, everyone getting single file. Looks like we got to look way back in the field for the first double file. It is Isaac Salas opening up over a second gap between himself and Kurt Schatzer. Saw Jesse Ingram back there. Let's go on board with Jesse and see how he's doing. In that 7 machine, trying to move up after the EOL, battling it out with the 007 of Samuel Bachman. You'll see the 7 car dive it down low. Able to make the pass. Salas with a comfortable lead. Kurt Schatzer in a comfortable second. Anthony Vitali Jr. in a comfortable third. Jeff Kemper is the final driver in the top 4 in that 181. Jake Henry moves up 3 from his start. He's currently running in P5. Working lap 7 of 8. Isaac Salas taking the white flag. 1 to go in heat 1.
Yeah, I just had to send Isaac a private message here, just, putting some warnings out. Sometimes in the sim, these guys can get up to the wall and almost bounce off the wall and use the track to their advantage. It's kind of an iRacing bug that they have not quite been able to figure out yet. So it's always bad. It's always, not really fair to see that stuff in the sim. So we try to keep that to a minimum. So just had to send him a quick
Salas, Schatzer, Vitali Jr., Kemper are your top 4. Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. Cale Smith, Randy Shreves on the front row. Gavin Chatham, John Morano in row number 2. Michael Vitali, Luke Hines in row number 3. James Ingram rounds out your field of 7 drivers. All right, leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. You got 8 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. A race hard, a race clean. Good luck. Yeah, Clayton, kind of interested to see that 56 of Randy Shreves, how he handles the 115 of Cale Smith here on the start.
Yeah, usually, like we said last week, running at Lucas Oil, he's you expect to see him up front in the sprint cars. Of course, he seems to have those down no matter where we go. But very, very different look here with Randy Shreves on the front row. We got Michael Vitale back in P6, it appears. Michael Vitale seems very strong in these as well. I would like to see who's going to have anything here for the 115 of Cale, though.
Yeah, the 24 car. Gavin Chatham hasn't been with us. He goes to a lot of real races, so he's been out of town in that 24 car. Another one that you think of as a sprint car specialist, not necessarily modified or limited late models. Like to welcome Gavin, big supporter of the show, back to Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights as the pace truck exits. 8 laps to get it done. Cale Smith. Both the front two already qualified for the Dash for Cash. So those drivers in P2 and 3 and Vitale, they'd sure like to get that invitation to that big show on week 13. So we'll see how this plays out. It is the 115 of Cale Smith looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Cale Smith, high to low, gets up in front of Randy Shreves. Gavin Chatham in that 24 falls in P3. Michael Vitale working the bottom. Got John Morano there with him in the 33. Put Michael Vitale up to P4. John Morano falls back 1. He's going to battle it out with the 40 car of James Ingram and Luke Hines in the 17 back there.
Yeah, it looked like the 33 got very loose off of turn 4 that last lap, giving that spot to Michael Vitale with almost no question about it. Michael Vitale now closing into the 24 of Gavin Chatham for a podium finish in this heat race, trying to move himself up.
So once again, we get nose to tail pretty quick. Hopefully this track wears in, Clayton, and we get some too wide racing here. But right now it seems like all the grip and the lane of preference is that top line, and everybody is just up there in the on the train.
Yeah, absolutely. Port Royal's walls is almost as dangerous as Lucas Oil's ledge that we talked about last week. Seeing these guys run up there, obviously it's the preferred line. I say that as we see the 24 go down on Randy Shreves looking for a slide job, and Randy holds off of 2. But these guys run up top, throughout the night, and before you know it, it starts to slick off, and they have to go other places, and that's when we're really going to see this racetrack become very racy and be able to see these guys go 2, possibly 3 wide. Just not right now. It seems very single file, only our second heat race of the night, but I can promise you guys that that's gonna change for sure.
Cale Smith over a second gap between himself and Randy Shreves in the 56. Gavin Chatham. We got 2 sprint car specialists going at it here. Let's see who prevails here with the 24 diving down low. Randy Shreves up high. No drive off the bottom for the 24. Randy Shreves will hang on to that second position.
Right, and watching Cale Smith's onboard, you could barely fit a stack of paper between his right rear and the wall. Very, very close up to the wall. Not making contact though. Running it clean, running it smooth for sure. A lot of throttle control and a lot of smoothness in the hands from that 115 tonight.
Yeah, man, another Navy guy there, Clayton.
Absolutely. We discussed that last week. I talked with him. I did not know that, so a big thank you to him for his service.
Cale Smith, Shreves, Chatham, and Michael Vitale are your top 4. Luke Hines will move up to finish in the top 5. Heat 3 to the grid. Heat 3 to the grid, please. All right, leader. Chris Cox, Grant Wesley on the front row. Billy Roberts, Donald Liegeman, row 2. Mark Gilbert, Butch Baker in row number 3. Michael Carter round out your field of 7 drivers. All right, leader, you know the drill. 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the one to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself and the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. That 88 car on the outside of row number 1, he's been on quite the roll here, Clayton, but the 515 is your reigning champion on the inside of Chris Cox there. And Billy Roberts has been on a roll. So, and you got Michael Carter starting in the back. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I am wanting to see if Grant Wesley will be able to clear Chris, and then 2, just gonna see how many laps it's gonna take Michael Carter to get to the front. If he can stay clean, it's him tonight for sure to get to the front during this heat race. But if not, it will make for a very good show for the feature with everybody moving on to the feature tonight. We'll see how many spots he can pick up here when we go green.
That 15 car in the back has won 50% of the 358 modified races so far this year. So a little over 50%. So he is the man to beat. Although the 88 car's the points leader somehow.
Yeah, it's just one of those late season charges that he puts together. And it's funny talking to the 15 of Michael Carter. When you ask him, he's a fixed setup guy, but he sure does know how to win in an open setup race. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's something else. They've been a great addition to Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights for sure. Green flag comes out. We are underway. Big shout out to that 99 car. That is Billy Roberts in the Gears Unlimited entry. Been our title sponsor for coming up on a year. Contract made. Roberts back to the back of the pack. Gave him the old broadcaster's curse there by putting a camera on him. Billy Roberts will fall back to the back of the pack. Chris Cox with your lead. Grant Wesley in P2. Donald Ingram in the 10 car. He's going to run that high line. He's got Grant Wesley down low. Butch Baker in the 97, the Venom Racing driver. No room for the 88. Grant Wesley tried to fit it up there, and there was no room.
Yeah, you do not want to build up a reputation like that with these guys that early in a night for sure. So we'll see if the 97 runs him clean for the rest of this one, or if he might possibly think about repaying the favor here.
That is the 97. Baker into the outside wall. Everyone is able to avoid the 97 car. I said 87. I meant 97. Caution will come out for that, however. '97 will go to the back of the field on lap 4 of 8.
Yeah, he just carries a little bit too much throttle exiting 4, and up the wall he goes again. Talking about that wall that Port Royal's known for, it almost is like a vacuum on the sim here. It will suck you towards it really fast, and it's never a good finish for sure for that.
Yeah, Chris Cox able to hold on to that lead. I think Donald Ingram is another Navy guy in that 10 car, currently running in P2, driver out of Georgia. So we got Iowa, Georgia, Indiana, Virginia. Man, you don't get that anywhere else, Clayton. Sim world can be absolutely amazing where these drivers come from and the people that it brings together.
Absolutely, and I'm really impressed when you look at some of these guys' sim rigs. You know, some people, you know, I know plenty of people that have put $20,000-$30,000 into their rig, and then I know other people that have, you know, bought a PC that's not the best, but it gets the job done, and a $200-$300 pedal set, and they run just as fast. So it's all about getting used to and getting fast with whatever you have. There's really no advantage out there, no matter who, you know, tries to tell you that this product is better than that one or anything like that. It's all about the talent behind the wheel, that's for sure.
You know, people ask me after I got my Icon Elite chassis, I won a hell of a lot more races with a Thrustmaster strapped to a computer desk than I have in this chassis I got now. Chris Cox, Donald Ingram, Grant Wesley, Michael Carter, your top 4. Carter moves up 3 from his start. This will pull him to the rear bumper of that 10 car. That is Donald Ingram. Looks like we are going to go single file.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused with the server saying that it was a double file restart. I was wondering what was going on. And don't look now, but Michael Carter's already one spot out of a podium for this heat race finish.
Restart 5:15 on the hammer. Good restart. Donald Ingram falls back to P2. Grant Wesley about to have his hands full. That is Michael Carter in the 15 car. Contact made. Both drivers able to get away. That's going to be a battle, the 15 and the 88. Carter once again charges down low. The 88 car able to hold on to that top position. That is Grant Wesley, driver out of Evansville, Indiana. Now Billy Roberts is going to take a look underneath the 15 car. So the 15 back in traffic.
Absolutely. Something about Billy Roberts in the bottom of a dirt track. Anything he's in, it seems if he can get to the bottom, he finds a lane that not anybody else seems to be able to find as fast as he can. And for the most part, he benefits from it extremely well.
2 to go. Chris Cox on the lead. Donald Ingram took a peek underneath. We're coming to the white flag. Will the 10 car have some last lap magic in that 10 car? As the 88 closes in, Grant Wesley, they all three decide to stay up high in 1 and 2. Coming off of turn 2, it's a drag race down the backstretch. They are under a blanket. No one jumps out of line. I am surprised now. Wesley thinks about it. Coming to the line. Carter, Ingram, Wesley, your top 3. Michael Carter brings it home. P4 up 3 positions.
Yeah, I was very impressed to see no fighting right there in 3 and 4. I thought for sure a slide job was coming from somebody.
3 minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 minutes of warm-up. We will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. The issue has been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
Welcome back. We're getting ready to go feature racing here as the drivers will take the grid. We got a 25-lap feature. Feature to the grid, please. Get your starting lineup here. Isaac Salas, Cale Smith on the front row. Chris Cox, Kurt Schatzer in row 2. Randy Shreves, Donald Ingram in 3. Anthony Vitale, Gavin Chatham in 4. Grant Wesley and Jeffrey Kemper in 5. Vitale and Carter in 6. Henry Hines in 7. Roberts Ingram in 8. John Morano, Mark Gilbert in row number 9. Samuel Bachman, James Ingram in 10. Butch Baker and Anthony Barjulio will round out your field of 22 drivers. All right, leader, same drill. 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the one to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start-finish line. We're going 25 laps tonight. Race hard, race clean. Put on a great show. Good luck. So Isaac Salas starting on that front row, Clayton. Got some tough customers up front.
Yes, Chris Cox looked very strong in his heat race up front. Cale Smith as well. Randy Shreves managing to secure himself a top 5 for this. A lot of heavy hitters up towards the front. We'll see who's gonna prevail at the end of this one.
Yeah, that 15 car, he's starting considerably in the back in P12.
Green.
Green flag is out. We are underway. Let's see who gets the advantage. Salas slides up. Cale Smith with a crossover move. Put Cale Smith on the point. The Navy driver to the lead. Chris Cox is battling hard on that bottom side. Randy Shreves, a host of drivers. 171 is around.
And it looked like teammates there. It looks like Billy Roberts kind of sends it in there a little too much. And Billy Roberts gets underneath him and turns him.
Clayton, I'll take that EOL.
Yes, sir. Car 99 EOL.
Take a look here. That is the...
Clayton, that was actually on me. I got on the brakes. I thought I was going to get into somebody.
99, the 171 locks it up, but the 99, he has nowhere to go, makes contact. So we will see what race control determines. Isaac Salas will get his position back on the point here. Kind of surprised to see that, Clayton. I thought the 115 made that pass.
Yeah, it goes crossing the line. They would have had to cross. The whole field has to cross the line to make the lap official. And with dirt racing, unless the whole field crosses, if the caution comes out before that, everybody gets their spots back.
Yeah, I guess we are only on lap 2 of 25, so that makes sense. Let's see if that 115 can use that crossover move. Salas, I've watched him for years. He will slide up to that top side. He loves to run the high side. The 115 actually took advantage of that last time and was able to cross over from the start. So that was pretty cool to see. And I was also surprised, Clayton, at the number of cars running that bottom line.
Yeah, I did not expect to see it, but as you look, almost all the way around 1 and 2 up top has started to fade away after that warm-up. Those guys, all these cars at one time on track, it started to beat away at the top. And the top is almost gone, if not moved all the way up to the wall already. So now the 115 knows what's in the 5's playbook. Does he hold back a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2 and prepare to cross back over from the 5 and run away with it again?
We're about to find out. Pace truck is off. The 5 of Isaac Salas bringing us to the green flag. Moves up the track. Good restart. 5 to the point. Isaac Salas gets to the outside, and he puts a gap between himself and the 115. Now Chris Cox is going to try that bottom side. 10 car up on his lid there.
Yep. I'm going to go back and take a look. It looks as if he just gets up there himself. He does. He gets the right rear end of that wall. With it being a vacuum like we spoke about earlier, it flipped him right up and over. The 10 car will be going to the back.
All by himself up there. You can see him get into that outside wall. These open wheel cars, man, if you touch that wall, it's hard not to get sucked right in there.
Absolutely.
A little too early for a Ross Chastain move there. That looked like the 10 car was trying to ride that outside wall, but not these cars.
Way too early, and yeah, I would not expect a modified to be able to pull that off. I did almost pull it off in a Monday night league race that we had. I thought about it, and I second guessed myself and went and test drove it after, and sure enough, I would have been able to pull it off. It's 0.7 of a second faster with what I was doing, and I just didn't do it. I should
That's
have.
insane, man, right? Pace truck is off. Field is tightening up. Isaac Salas still at the front of the field with Cale Smith to his outside. 15 or the 515 of Chris Cox. He was working that bottom side pretty good. Kurt Schatzer in the 18 is in the picture. He's running P4.
You see the 5, he's smart, starting about middle of the track. The leader is able to pick wherever he wants to go for the start. And with him being able to start in the middle, that pushes that 115 of Cale Smith up to the top, and that causes Cale to start in the slick. So Isaac's able to clear himself basically without having to make any kind of move.
We went 3 wide there. Not sure. Looks like Jeffrey Kemper may have been involved. We went 3 wide there early, so these guys being a little bit impatient here early. That is the 181. Oh, 17 car. Big contact coming off the bottom there. Jeffrey Kemper goes for a ride. Let's rewind that and take a look from the seat of that 181. See him behind Chatham. Here they come, and over we go.
Yeah, it looks as if the 17 of Luke Hines just comes up the track and pushes a bunch of people up.
Isaac Salas still at the front of the field. Cale Smith still in P2. Chris Cox in P3. Randy Shreves in P4. Kurt Schatzer falls back 1. After this, we should go single file after this restart, if we're not already there. Guess we are single file this time. Salas, Smith, Cox, Shreves, Schatzer, your top 5. Vitale Jr., Vitale, so brothers battling it out for P6. Grant Wesley is back there. Gavin Chatham. Michael Carter has moved up 2. Jesse Ingram in the 7 car. He's up 5. Mark Gilbert is up 6. Butch Baker is up 6. And Anthony Marvulio is up 6. So we got a lot of movers coming from the back.
Yeah, absolutely. These incidents, if you can avoid them and just stay out of the way, you'll pick up spots. With the rules and stuff being, you know, anybody involved goes to the back or doesn't get their spot back at least. As long as you can stay clean, sometimes when these races get really hectic, all you have to do is avoid it, and it's free positions.
Isaac Salas is back. Green flag is out. Great start by the 5. Cale Smith in P2. Chris Cox is going to dive down low. Anthony Vitale down low. Kurt Schatzer, he is down low. We're going to go 3 wide.
I did not expect them to stay clean right there off of 2-3 wide like that. I definitely was hesitating over my throw a caution button. Grant Wesley into the wall on the front stretch.
88 car had a great run on the 18, ran out of room there. Got up into that outside wall, stays green. Cale Smith in P2, Chris Cox P3, Randy Shreves 4.
Anthony Vitale running top 5.
3 wide once again. Kurt Schatzer involved in a couple of 3 wides, and everyone is driving through it.
Yeah, those Vitale brothers, Those Vitale brothers love to throw some competition at each other and see what each other's got. Really cool to see how that type of racing on track.
The 21 car, that's Anthony Vitale Jr. He drives a modified in real life, which was pretty cool to see. Out in New York, his brother puts the pass on there. Gavin Chatham in the 24. He's moving up ever so slightly, running that bottom. The Vitale boys back down low. That is Michael and Anthony. We will do our version of Turn It Up and let you see what the cars look like out on track. So here we go. Big contact, as you saw on your screen, the 21 car, that's Anthony Vitale Jr. He went by this camera upside down. Let's take a look. Contact is made. That is Kurt Schatzer going to the back.
Absolutely. The 18 and 21 just making contact like that. 18 kind of comes up, gives him the nudge, and pushes him up into the wall, causing him to flip. The 18 of Kurt Schatzer will be going to the back.
Isaac Salas has led flag to flag. We are on lap 11 of 25, so we still have a ways to go. We will single file restart. I think we'll stick with the leaders here for a little bit and see if that 115 car isn't taking a look, Clayton. Maybe looking for a maybe a late race strategy. Let's see if he's just falling in line or is he taking a peek. But Smith, Cox, and Shreves have stayed right with the leader there.
Yeah, the five and the 115 were able to pull away a little bit that last run, and I started thinking the same thing. Is the 115 of Kale just kind of sitting back, watching where Isaac is, try to put the pressure on and force him to make a mistake. But if he doesn't make a mistake, at least you're taking notes from behind him and watching what he does, being able to set up something towards the end of this.
Working lap 11 of 25. Almost halfway home.
Michael Carter, I believe, is 4 positions out of a top 5 already. He's worked his way up from 12th. Michael Vitale up to 5th from P11. So those guys are charging hard from the back.
Anthony Marjulio in 12th, up 10 spots in that 238 Mass Mafia drive. He is your biggest mover. Samuel Bachman up 9 in the 007 car. We are back underway. It is Isaac Salas. Cale Smith gets a better restart this time. Isaac Salas is able to open up a gap. You can see 1 and 2 getting really rough up high. If I know Isaac Salas like I do, he'll ride that top until it is completely gone. Cale Smith in P2, Chris Cox in P3. Michael Vitale in that 213 is the first car to go down low. He's trying to get underneath Randy Shreves in that 56. You got Vitale, Chatham, and the 15. That is Michael Carter running that bottom side. Carter has a little bit of room. He's able to work bottom to top and get a run where the 2 in front of him are kind of stuck down low. They can't move up high because the 56 car is there. So maybe Michael Carter is finding a groove that he likes. Let's take a look. Another caution.
Yeah, it looks like the 40 just enters turn 1 a little too low, not knowing where the wall was exactly with the car in front of him. clips the inside wall and turns it over and brings out a self-spinning yellow.
Over he goes. That is James Ingram. So up front, the front three have not changed position since the start. Salas, Smith, Cox running 1, 2, 3. Michael Vitale is now in P4. He's up 7 from his start. The 24 of Gavin Chatham, he's up 3. He's in P5. Randy Shreves has fallen back 1. Michael Carter in 7th into 15. He is up. My board just changed, so I'm not sure. I think 7. It will be Isaac Salas at the front of the field on lap 14 of 25. Isaac Salas currently 24th in the points. This is only his 4th week to race with us. Cale Smith is 5th in the points. Chris Cox is 3rd in the points. So Michael Carter and Grant Wesley, they are not having the night that they wanted to have, but they're still not they're not too far behind, so there won't be a huge deficit. Currently, Wesley, Carter, Cox, Grandy, Smith are your top 5 in the point standings. Base truck is off.
Coming back to the green flag here. You got a late pick here, Joe, coming to 10 to go.
Man, I don't know. I think the 115 is holding off, but Isaac Salas is super hard to pass, man. So I think the winner's going to come out from that top 3. Actually, top 2. Those cats don't make many mistakes. Isaac Salas to the front. Cale Smith in P2 as he has been all race. Let's go on board with Cale Smith. See what it looks like running in P2 behind Isaac Salas. Looks like Isaac gets a good run off of 2 there. Puts a little gap between himself and the 115. You can see the hands inside the cockpit busy. You can hear him working the throttle. Cale Smith closes right up. We're going to go with the slide job. Caution comes out. I'm showing Chris Cox involved.
Yeah, it looks like the 213 comes up and fences him, and all the flipping goes from there.
515 into the outside wall. Shreves makes it by. Makes contact with the 24.
Rewatching the replay, it looks like the 515 comes down about 2 lanes off the corner. Doesn't stay up top, comes down. Michael Vitale kind of catches his line and runs that line off of exit. And the 515 comes down and bounces off of him.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment for sure. The 515. So we'll line them up and go again. On lap 17 of 25. So I'm surprised, man. We had this same surprise last week that the race, man, we had a ton of cautions. This track seems to be wide open, but the corners are so fast on exit. I think that causes a lot of problems with the drivers.
Absolutely, and with this track slicking off and the corners being the paperclip style tight that it is, with the track slicking off, you have to let off so much to not allow the car to hit the wall, and that just causes a bunch of excessive braking, some checkups that aren't quite expected. This is definitely a tough one to get around for sure.
Taking a quick look at the schedule here. Next week, we're back to Cedar Lake, so that'll be a change. We've had a few big tracks in a row. Isaac Salas at the front of the field on lap 16 of 25. Getting ready to go green. Late caution comes out.
Up front, please stop. Let that pace car come by for me.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had some some chain reaction braking again that I was just talking about on the backstretch. A couple people flipped off the wall before we were even able to get going.
So those of you that aren't tracking, Clayton is also our race control in the booth with us. So he's multitasking. So he is the one that's making the calls and doing all caution flags. So greatly appreciate you joining us in the booth, Clayton, again.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I love it up here. I'm trying to do two jobs at once. For the most part, it's pretty simple, but sometimes it gets hectic up here. I start sweating a little bit, but nothing a good old Scotch can't fix. Keep on trucking.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting back. When we first started Gears Unlimited, I was a one-man show doing live admin and broadcasting all by myself. So, man, it's great to have you in the booth, my brother.
Yeah, I love it up here, man. Appreciate the invite for sure.
Isaac Salas will start once again. Pace truck is off. Cale Smith, P2. Michael Vitale with the 515 out of the way. He's up 8 positions. He is in the final podium position. Gavin Chatham is in P4. Randy Shrees rounds out your top 5. Don't look now. The 15 car is just outside your top 5, as is that 88 car of Grant Wesley. So keep an eye on those two coming from the back there. Anthony Marjulio is up 12. He's running with Samuel Bachman, who's up 10. So the 238 and the 007 coming from the back.
Absolutely. Randy Shreves has found that wall. Found a lane up there that not a lot of people have found yet. I just watched him absolutely soar it through 3 and 4. Unfortunately, he got the 213 in front of him. He had to check up, but he looks very, very fast up there right now as he passes Chatham for P4.
There are not many, man. I've watched Randy Shreves and raced with him for years, and there are not many that can run that high side any better. He seems to find traction up there, as we saw last week in sprint cars. He was running the top flat, and that I haven't seen. Isaac Salas with over a half-second lead over Cale Smith. Randy Shreves now up to P2. Michael Vitale in P3. Gavin Chatham is your top 5. Let's take a look at the lap times, and it is Shreves by a good bit last time by. 19,782 to a 2,004 from your leader. So Shreves is closing down that gap, Clayton.
Absolutely. I watched him clear P5 and 4 in one lap. Randy Shreves just found something there up top. I don't know if he's going to have the laps to get up to Isaac, but he could potentially pass Cale right here for second place points.
Working lap 21 of 25. The 56 car getting hot at the right time. Top 3 pulling away from the field. Isaac Salas with a 20.037. Cale Smith quickest last time by in the 115. So Randy Shreves putting some pressure on that 115. That might have got him into another gear. Let's go on board with the 56 here and see what it looks like. That top's super rough.
Almost the whole car is off the ground entering into turn 1 and into turn 3. So definitely having to fight a smooth wheel. And the fact that he can is very impressive.
There aren't many that do it better, man. That 56 car.
Caution, yellow flag.
Caution comes back out once again. Looks like Mark Gilbert involved. Let's take a look.
I don't think I caused that.
Into the outside wall. 76 comes down. 7 comes up. Into the 99. Race control will have to make that call.
Hey, Grant, sorry if I got into there a little bit, buddy. Wasn't intentional, man.
Oh, no problem. Tough track.
You got your top 2 in points. That is your points leader is the 88. He's
Contact
currently
between the
running in
76 and
P9.
the 76 down off the wall.
Michael
7 coming
Carter running P6.
up. No EOLs.
We will take a quick look and see how many points separate those two. They're only separated by 3 points. So this could have an impact on the overall point standings where Michael Carter is running and Grant Wesley is running with only 3 points separating the two.
How about Billy Roberts getting an EOL all the way to the back of the pack early in this race, and he is now back up to, I believe, P10. Yes, started
in the
15th.
99. Yeah.
Started 15th, worked him up a little bit, and then from the back, and he's coming back up.
You know, just quietly works through the field, man. Just ever so quiet, and then next thing you know, he's there.
Absolutely. Again, he's more than likely, if I know Billy, running with him as much as I have recently, he's gone to the bottom and found something that the other guys haven't been able to find yet, and that's why he's sitting where he is right now.
Looks like some damage on the 115 there. I'm not sure what happened to Cale Smith, but the right side of that car, I don't know if it got into the right front suspension or not, but we're getting ready to find out. We're going to go green-white checkers this time by. Pace truck is off. Isaac Salas at the front of the field, followed by Cale Smith and Randy Shreves. Michael Vitale is P4. Gavin Chatham in 5th. Michael Carter in 6th. Anthony Marvulio up 15 positions to 7th. Jesse Ingram 8th. Grant Wesley and Billy Roberts round out your top 10. Isaac Salas is off. Green flag is out. We are back underway. Good start by the 5. Stays up high, as does Cale Smith and Randy Shreves. So all your top 3 running the high line. Saw out of the corner of the screen, we had a wad of cars get together on the inside. No caution comes out. Randy Shreves all over the rear bumper of Cale Smith. Maybe made a little contact there. Last lap.
Yeah, the
Cale
115
Smith dies down low. Will he get some drive off that bottom side? Not enough to get by the 5. Shreves gets loose into the outside wall. Will Shreves hold on? He will. 56 car. Top 3 start finish line. Top 3 start finish line, please. Salas, Smith, Shreves, your top 3.
Nice race, Randy.
Randy Shreves got
good
loose on the exit of turn 4 and got into that outside wall. Clayton, I thought that might open the door for Michael Vitale, but Shreves able to hold on to it.
Yeah, Grant Wesley got
That was not me, sir.
turned by the 181 towards the end, and Grant Wesley just finished this race in 16th, so that's really going to hurt his points dropping all the way back.
Yeah, he didn't need to hear that. Where did the 15 finish? 10th. So there will be a change at the top of the point standings tonight, and I imagine Wesley won't be none too pleased in that 88 machine. Randy, can you pull up a little bit, sir? Perfect. Don't forget to go up for your interviews. Great race, fellas. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily.
I've got somebody waiting for a race control review, Joe, so I'll pass you the interviews and see what's wrong with race control here.
All right, man. First, Randy Shreves, the 56 car of Randy Shreves. He moves up 2 positions from his start. Randy, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, you found something late, and you were closing in a big hurry. You passed 2 cars in 1 lap on that high side, man. What did you find up there?
And I just found that, if you can keep it off that wall and just kind of keep it right up against that cushion, you can just kind of smash the throttle all the way around and you'll catch. But, that track's it's just hard to pass on that track. And I had Chris in front of me there for a while, and I had found that spot, and I was just kind of half throttling it behind him for a while because if you go down on this track, you're just going to get past. So I tried to keep it up there on that high side, and Yeah, managed to get her back up there in third.
Yeah, man, that top side also. We were talking on the broadcast, Clayton and I. No one runs that high side quite as good as you. If there are any, they're not very much better. Man, it looked super rough up there. Those cars were about off the ground in 1 and 2. How bad was that top side? How nerve-wracking was it to run up there?
Yeah, like you said, man, 1 and 2, it was just, man, it was like running over potholes, just huge holes, and I don't know. You just gotta hope that you stick, but yeah, I made it through that. So.
Yeah, man, you're already in the dash for cash. So you were currently, let's take a look at the points. You were 6th in the points. It looks like you'll have a good points night with Grandy and Cox not doing well. Grandy didn't show up. Cox didn't run well. So you'll move up into points in the 358 modifieds, man. Great run by that 56. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
Yeah, definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Coulter West at Redline Race Designs, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, Get Your Six Racing Network, Top Tier Race Control, the Dirt Track Bank, Mission 22, you know, everybody involved with this league, all the drivers, all the spectators. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, man, and thank you to you. Man, I think we put together the right sponsors that have the right frame of mind for this, and we got the right drivers. So congratulations on your podium, man. We're going to see you in the limited late models.
Sure are.
Right on, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Cale Smith in the 115. He rolled off outside of the pole. Could not do much with that 5 car. Cale, this is Joe. You got me?
We got you, Joe.
Man, we were looking at the right side of the 115. I noticed that Nerf bar on the right side was kind of beat up. Did you get into the wall, and did it hurt that front right suspension?
Yeah, I did. In 1 and 2 there, I was trying to run a low line on Isaac there, trying to make something happen, and it didn't work, and he gaffed me, so I was really trying to get back up on that wall and run some quick times to run him down again, and got a little too close, and man, it put the front end right up in the air, and I thought I was going to lose it, but yeah, then I could see the right side was kind of caved in there, and I was thinking it was probably going to mess something up, but after we got through those cautions, started running, it felt good.
Yeah, man, great points night for you. Came in the night 5th quick. Joseph Grandy and Chris Cox didn't have great nights. You finished in front of your teammate, Michael Carter. So great points night for the 115, man. How was the track? We're watching a slow replay. That 1 and 2 looked absolutely treacherous.
Yeah, you go into 1 and 2, and there's a couple really big bumps there, but it's kind of vital to get you around the corner quick, and if you hit those right, you can kind of slingshot around the corner. But the top was it was still, I mean, it probably didn't look like it, but it was still tacky enough to run the quickest line, and you know, I tried the bottom, I tried other things, but man, Isaac, he just ran such a good race and didn't have anything for him.
Yeah, man, we were talking. Neither one of the top 3 makes very many mistakes. So once you guys get nose to tail, it's fun to watch. Clayton and I actually thought you were holding off a little bit there, kind of running behind the 5, looking for where you might be able to pass. But, man, all 3 of you were on that top side, and you couldn't get it done in the CTM. Came up 1 position short. However, another podium, and you are in the dash for cash. So that's great news, man. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
Yeah, just thanks to you, Joe. You guys at Friday Night Lights, Got Your Six Racing Network, man. You guys are awesome. CTM Motorsports, my teammates, Travis Anderson won't make it tonight, but Michael Carter's out there. He was probably, maybe he was a hard charger. He hit the wall on both of his qualifying laps, and I know that kind of screwed him up from the get-go. So I know he'll be back, and he'll be quick probably in the late models here.
Yeah, man. See ya in the late models.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Isaac Salas in the 5 car, starts from the pole, finishes P1. Isaac, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, another great run. That top looked treacherous in 1 and 2. Walk us through it.
Oh, it was terrifying. There's a huge bump going into one. And I was hitting it, and I was like, I bet you one of these times this thing's just gonna pop, and I'm gonna end up right in the wall. But I got lucky. I made my way through it, and man, Kale was on me throughout that race. He had me all nervous.
Yeah, man, the top three, we were talking during the broadcast. You cats just don't make mistakes, man. When you get behind any one of those three cars, and it's almost impossible to pass because you guys do not make mistakes. But, man, that 5 car was on fire tonight, man. Another victory for Venom Racing. You saw the post I put out today, man. You got to run the next 2 weeks to qualify for the Dash for Cash. So, I hope that you do that, and you're in that $500 Dash for Cash race in week 13 in the 5 car. Great victory, man. Who would you like to thank for your drive to victory lane, my brother?
Yeah. Well, let's start with the big one then. All those guys over at Venom Racing. We just got just added Mark. And he's been a blast to hang out with so far, and the car looks awesome. So, but yeah, those guys are always amazing. So, big shout out to them. Dean, Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs for the beautiful paint scheme here. Got Your Six Racing Network with you, buddy. I love coming here. It's so much fun getting to run Friday Night Lights with you, and you always put on a pretty damn good show, and it's so much fun to watch back. RSN Trackside, Simtracks Broadcasting, Dirt Track Bank, VMR Raps, Coast to Coast, and then Mission 22, and definitely all our veterans there, and then just my friends and family that support my hobby.
Yeah, man. So it's crazy to think that there is those of you out there that don't know, although we did talk about it last week. Venom Racing has been with Got Your Six Racing Network since day probably -10, because I started chatting with you guys before when we just thought about this. And thanks to your guidance, man, here we are over a year later. And yeah, it just gets better and better every week, man. So a sincere thanks to you, my friend, and also the Venom Racing crew. Without you guys, we'd be nowhere even close to where we're at. So thank you for that, man. Are we going to see you in the limited late models?
No, actually, I'm just gonna sound pretty nerdy, I guess, but I finally joined a golf league for the first time. So
that a boy? You can't
I
golf
know.
in North Dakota?
It's okay. Hey, it's the winter. It's simulators, all right. But I gotta get my golf fixed now, so that way when I'm actually outside, I can enjoy it a little bit more instead of being upset with my golf game.
All right, man. I can't beat you on the track, but we're going golfing when we meet.
Tell me when.
Great run, my brother. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are the limited late models. We are running a little bit behind, so we will take a quick break, try to get caught back up here. When we come back, we will be with the limited late models right here at Port Royale. So we'll be right back.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. So that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. There's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. We've seen 4 eagle rays at once. Just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced. It hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, from being, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I've gone snorkeling a few times, or I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have zero experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
Welcome back. We are back to Port Royale with the limited late models. We're a little bit behind. We'll call the drivers off the track. Get underway in the limited late model. So let's call the drivers off the track. All drivers clear the track. All drivers clear the track, please. As we wrap up qualifying. All right, fellas, running a little bit behind time. We'll try to get caught up here. A few of the rules. If you don't show up for an interview or a photo and you are in the top 3, you will receive an EOL next week. 2 cautions in any one race, could be a feature or a heat race, doesn't matter. You will be DQ'd for the night in that division. Intentional contact will not be tolerated at any time. You'll get an automatic suspension if it's determined intentional by race control. Call-outs on Discord or anywhere else are not acceptable. We're all drivers. I get it. You get kind of heated at times. All we ask is that you calm down before you send a message to another driver. If we hear about it and we determine that it is abusive-ish, then you will also receive a suspension. Excessive blinking, first time you'll be warned. Second time, EOL. Third time, you will be asked to park it for the night. That's all I have. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns from the drivers before we get to qualifying? All right, fellas, none heard. Welcome to Week 10, Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. We have 3 more races tonight and 2 more to punch your ticket to the $500 Dash for Cash. So I wish you all the best of luck, and we are going to advance. All right, Clayton, we're back. We're with the limited late models. Looking for more of the same, or expecting something different?
I think these guys will be able to figure these out. You know, that modified race was kind of an icebreaker. It usually is of the night. I think they'll be able to settle down a little bit. These cars don't tear up that track and have that much power, or as much power as the modified. So we might be able to see some cleaner racing. It'll feel, you know, a little bit like as if the track is not wearing away anywhere near as quick, and possibly a little bit slower, I guess you could say. So these guys could just more than likely maybe single file out and ride behind each other and just see who can go where to get fast. But I don't think it'll be close, tight once we hit about 5 laps into a run or anything like that.
Yeah, man, big body car, so contact won't necessarily automatically bring out a caution. Contact with the wall, same story with big body. A lot of protection for those tires. Man, I feel like a horrible host. So, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. I know you're in the Navy. What do you do for the Navy, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I apologize.
Oh, that's all good, man. I'm Clayton Heck. I'm from Eustis, Florida. Moved to Tavares, Florida when I was in high school, but born and raised in Eustis, Florida. Currently, I live in the state of Virginia, stationed on the John C. Stennis. I'm an aviation ordnanceman in the Navy. I build all the rockets, missiles, bombs that good old Maverick shot from his plane in the movie. All that stuff gets put together by us on a daily basis and loaded onto the planes. I've been in 2.5 years. Favorite hobbies are playing with the family. You know, my wife and I have a 1-year-old little girl. She's my best friend. Sim racing, obviously. I love this stuff. Grew up high school sports, baseball, football, and then got out, did a little bit of law enforcement work at a jail, and was gonna transfer and become a CO, a corrections officer, and then decided I should take military and police and combine them together because I had the military thought when I was in school. So I tried to become an MA, a Master at Arms for the Navy, and it turned out to be an 8-month wait. And I like money too much to go 8 months without a paycheck. So I told them to send me out with the job that will send me out the fastest. And here I am.
Yeah, man. So we call those BB stackers in the Air Force.
Oh, I hear it all the time.
I had a group of them. I will tell you, as a first sergeant in Germany, I had a bunch of ammo guys, and oh my goodness, my friend, they kept me busy full time. with the issues that were going on. So that's awesome, man. Welcome to the show. Looks like we are qualifying the 515 of Chris Cox at the top of the board with a 19.201. Joseph Grandy makes the race. He is P2. Cale Smith, Michael Carter, and Jeffrey Kemper are your top 5. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Chris Cox, Cale Smith on the front row. Jeffrey Kemper, Donald Ingerman, row 2. Randy Shreves, Jesse Ingerman, row number 3. Samuel Bachman, Anthony Marvulio in row number 4. Gavin Chatham rounds out your field of 9 drivers. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 1. You guys know the drill. Leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Chris Cox on the inside. Clayton, he is your reigning champion in both 358 modifieds and limited late models. However, that 115 to his outside. This could be interesting.
Yeah, I think Chris Cox will be able to make something work here on the bottom. These cars don't really turn in the greatest. There's not a lot of power to throw the rear end into the corner like you want a dirt car to. So I would honestly not be surprised if Cale Smith, 1, tries to pinch Chris Cox down to the bottom here when we go green, or 2, tries to go to the high side and doesn't quite get it to rotate in and make some wall contact. So I think Chris Cox will be able to pull off a turn 2 with a decent lead and be able to maintain that for the rest of this heat race.
Jeffrey Kemper and Donald Ingram. He's a prior Navy guy on the outside of road number 2. Randy Shreves, he's on the inside of road number 3. We saw Shreves find something that really worked up high late in the 358 modifieds. We'll see if he can get up high. Jesse Ingram in the 7 car. He's behind his brother on that outside row. Anthony Marvulio, he will roll off P8, and Gavin Chatham at the rear of the field. He does have a limited late model win last season with Gears Unlimited. Pace truck is off. Chris Cox coming off a turn 4, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We're underway. Chris Cox on the inside of that 115. 115, he might have had his fill. Oh, they make contact, and the 10 car gets into the 115. Move Cale Smith to the back. Chris Cox up front. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. He moves up to P2. Donald Ingram in that 10 car with his brother Jesse Ingram. Now Shreves, he's running the bottom side. The 56 kind of clogged up the lane there. The 007 got a good run. Gavin Chatham, he's on the outside of Shreves. We're going to go 3 wide coming off at turn 2. They make it work.
I did not expect the 515 of Chris Cox there to get the right rear to step out like that, and I don't think Cale Smith did either. I think that step out that the rear end did right there caused all of that contact and caused Cale to go to the back. Definitely not quite up to the character of this car. The car usually will not step out for you like that, so that's kind of strange to see.
Chris Cox opens up over a half-second gap over Jeffrey Kemper, the driver out of Oregon, in the Mean Green Machine, the 181. If you guys look at our Discord page, you'll see Jeff Kemper, known for his slip and slide late night championship celebration up in Oregon, going on a slip and slide in the middle of the night. So Jeff Kemper has been with us a long time. Greatly appreciated, Jeff. The 10 car and the 7 car, those are the Ingram brothers. They're battling it out. You'll see their dad in the 40 car racing here later on. All those drivers out of Georgia. Samuel Bachman. Now Gavin Chatham takes a peek underneath. Will Chatham try a slide job? He will. We got a crossover coming. Cale Smith side by side with Randy Shreves.
It looked like some net code there between the 56 and the 115. 115 made some contact with the wall outside of turn 3.
Yeah, man, I apologize not for introducing you earlier. As you know, we're doing a YouTube deal of the dwarf car journey that we're on. Today I started searching around. We might start doing interviews, man. So might invite you to be on the show if I can figure it out with guys who have raced in the past. I think that'd be pretty cool to include on the YouTube channel. So yeah, we're messing with that in OBS, trying to figure out how to interview folks. So I think that'd be pretty cool, man. So if you get the invite, you better say yes. Chris Cox at the front of the field, holding off Jeffrey Kemper in that 181. Cox running away with it. Cox, Kemper, Ingram, your top three. Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. Joseph Grandy, Michael Carter on the front row. Luke Hines, Mark Gilbert in row 2. Jason Hines, Butch Baker in row number 3. Malachi Smith, James Ingram round out your field of 8 drivers. All right, leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. So Joseph Grandy missed the modified race. I haven't looked at the points here in the limited late models. Let's take a quick peek. Michael Carter, followed by Chris Cox, Randy Shreves, Travis Anderson, and Anthony Marjulio are your top 5. So Carter will roll off on the outside of the front row. Chris Cox already won. Chris Cox, again, is in P2 in the points. So he is your reigning champion. Once again, Michael Carter, we're in week 10. He's got 6 wins so far, Clayton. So that 15 car is quite the character to battle here.
He always is. I believe he races these in the real world outside of iRacing. So if you can do it in the real world, it, you know, for the most part, it should be pretty easy to get on here and absolutely dominate like the kid has done recently. I really think him on the outside here for this heat race could benefit him. Sorry, I'm fighting a little bit of a sore throat here if I sound a little off, but yeah, him on the outside here, if he can time the restart with Joseph Grandy there to his inside, I really think he can pull away off a 2 with it. This kid seems to dominate either in the modified or late model, if not both, week in and week out. Over 50% of the wins this year. He's definitely got a golden path to a championship here at the end of the season if he keeps it up.
Yeah, man. Joseph Grandy coming off a turn 4, looking for the green flag. I am surprised and pleased to see that 17 car. That is Luke Hines. He's new to the show. If you look at iRatings, he's not quite at the top of the board, but the 17 car with a good start in heat number 2. Up front, Joseph Grandy. Somebody, 76 of Mark Gilbert gets into the outside wall. Michael Carter, slide job coming, crossover.
Ooh,
we're going to have a caution
in the back. Yeah, you saw those 2 crossovers. I had a feeling Michael was going to be able to get a little bit of momentum. Looks like the 40 comes up into the 97. I'll take a second look at it here, but looking at it, you know, just from first time, it's what it's looking like the call is going to be, is 40 to the back.
They went 3 wide coming in. Butch Baker in the 97 got his teammate Malachi Smith in the 13 to the inside. 40 car is James Ingram. Makes contact with the 97. Joseph Grandy still at the front of the field. Michael Carter, P2. Mark Gilbert, Luke Hines in the 17. Man, I'm really surprised and pleased, Clayton, to see that 17 car up there battling it out. Man, that's great when people come into the league and they're able to compete with the quality of drivers that we have.
Absolutely. It makes you wish that they were here sooner, you know, just another name we could throw into this huge bowl of talent that this league has.
Joseph Grandy will come off a turn 4, looking for the green flag. Restart is on the leader, so Grandy will have the advantage on the restart. Will the 715 car be able to go with them? They fall in line on the outside almost immediately. Grandy, Carter, Gilbert. Will the 15 car try that slide job once again? He did it in turn 2 or in turn 3 last time by. He will not. He falls in line behind the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Mark Gilbert in P3. Luke Hines, Butch Baker around. Not sure if that will bring out a caution. It will not. Butch Baker around.
Yeah, it looked like
Carter.
It looked like
Go ahead.
It looked like Butch Baker just washed up off of 4. I'm not. I don't want to label somebody with intentional immediately. It looks as if no, he's turning the wheels to the left. He was just fighting that car, not wanting to rotate. And with it not wanting to rotate, it then snapped to almost too much rotation in the car, and he had to correct it. Shot him up into the 66, and some pretty heavy damage for both of them here to finish out this heat race.
Working lap 5 of 8. Grandy, Carter, Gilbert, Hines, Malachi Smith, Venom Racing driver getting it done. In that 13 machine, Jason Hines in the 66, a driver out of Canada. Butch Baker battling it out in a damaged race car. He is a Venom Racing driver battling it out with the 40 car of James Ingram. Both those cars with damage. Look up front. Here we go.
Michael Carter just threw a slide job. Joseph Grandy able to cross that back over down the backstretch. Grandy holding on to the lead. I think Michael Carter, he's right there nose to tail. I think he might dive down and throw another one. Here it comes.
Slide job coming. Will we see a crossover? Can Grandy gets rotated? He may have over-rotated. He will get the lead. Stays down low. He'll slide job. Crossover coming to the 1 to go. Carter with your lead in that 15 car.
Yeah, Grandy threw it. Grandy threw it in there. Oh.
Contact by all the 76 around. The 76 of Mark Gilbert was having a great run. 1 to go, no caution. It will be Carter and Grandy. They battle it out. And Malachi Smith finishes with a top 3. 76 car. He was right there, Clayton. No caution comes out because the 1 to go was already out. Yeah, just bad luck for the 76 machine.
Yeah, I really want to go take a look at that. I think if you were to put a penalty on that, that'd be definitely on the 518 of Joseph Grandy, causing the initial contact, and then that forced them all to check up, and that's what caused the 76 to come around and have to unfortunately tow. Couldn't even keep it together and limp home to a P3, P4 maybe. Had to tow. So it seems as if he completely ruined the car.
3 minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. The issue has been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear Till Valhalla Project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom, 2 words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for a 25-lap feature in the limited late models. What are you looking for here, Clayton? Sorry about that. My microphone was off. What are you looking for in this 25-lap shootout, Clayton?
I think Michael Carter on the outside front row again. Not sure if there's some. He messaged me during the break between warm up or his heat race and right now the feature coming up, and he believes that the 518's little incident right there in turn 1 and 2 was intentional. So curious to see if the 518 maybe does have something. Maybe he's upset with a move or something that happened during that heat race with him starting behind Michael. I think Michael has the strong car and the consistency that we've seen throughout this league. I think he can get it done from the front row. It's just a matter of will the 518 get up there and give him a bump that he doesn't necessarily want.
Yeah, man, we're about to find out. Let's talk to the drivers. All right, fellas, the initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Race hard, race clean, 25 laps. Good luck. Chris Cox will start on the inside of the front row. 515 is your previous champion. He's got Michael Carter to his outside. He's won 6 features so far this year. Jeffrey Kemper and Joseph Grandy in that 518. Green flag is out. We are underway. Chris Cox, Michael Carter. Will Cox be able to clear and get to the outside? Chris Cox goes down low. Will he slide up? Caution, big contact there in the back. Let's take a look. Replays brought to you by the Dirt Track Bank. 115 gets in hot, gets into the back of the 7 car, then into the inside wall. So that causes an incident. Shreves gets into the back of a 115. So we're not used to that 115 making a mistake. However, early race, that will move Cale Smith to the back of the field.
Yeah, looked like Cale just tried to poke his nose under a little bit. Maybe thought he had another half of a lane or something to make a hole, not realizing the wall tightening up there into corner entry like that. Tough to see that from Cale. You know, seeing how good he was in the big block or in the 358 modifieds.
Yeah, man. You know, we haven't seen the 115 in the back of the pack. He starts usually in the front. So maybe a little of desperation and frustration there early. So he was trying to get to the front in a big hurry. Gets into the, don't know who that was he got into, but makes contact there. To the back goes the 115.
Yeah, we've got the 24 sitting on the front stretch.
You do. I'll keep an eye on it for you and fix that.
Copy that. Thank you.
A little bit of communication there that we broadcast. That is Clayton talking to the 24 car of Gavin Chatham. Pace truck is off. We're getting ready to go back green. It is Chris Cox and Michael Carter at the front of the field. Your top 6 have not moved since the green flag dropped. .515 is off. Great restart. Cale Smith or Michael Carter in P2. Jeffrey Kemper, he's going to dive down low in the 181 to see if he can't get the bottom side to work. Contact is made. The 518 of Joseph Grandy. James Ingram says is involved. Let's take a look. In that 40 machine, he's in the back of the field, so this may be a chain reaction deal. No, it's not. He kind of swerved and 515 still at the front of the field on lap 3 of 25. Another slow start. We got a lot of cautions coming out. Chris Cox at the front of the field, followed by Michael Carter, Jeffrey Kemper, Joseph Grandy, Malachi Smith. Lights are still on the pace truck as race control tries to sort out some having some communication with the drivers that we hear over the mic. Top 6 cars have not changed from the start of the race. We're getting ready to go back green on lap 4 of 25. So a lot of cautions once again coming out. Chris Cox, great restart. Michael Carter, he's able to stay close with the 515. Oh, it looks like the 181 gets into the inside wall.
And they're flipping on the backstretch.
Caution comes back out. So we'll line them up and try it one more time.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this track. I don't know. I mean, you can't say it's the car because we saw the same thing last race. But something about Port Royal these guys are not liking tonight. Oh.
Clayton, it might just be one of those nights. Is it a full moon? What's going on here?
I was wondering what was going on. I thought you had some technical difficulties over there. Haven't heard
Man.
from you in a little bit here, but yeah, just some more contact. You know, somebody coming up off of turn 2 and just kept coming up. I think it was the 76. He disconnected for the night. Come up into the 17. 17 unfortunately had to go all the way to the back, just being that the whole field passed him while he was being wrecked like that.
Yeah, man. Just some nights you just have caution after caution, I guess. Chris Cox still at the front of the field. Michael Carter P2. Joseph Grandy up 1 position. He's in P3. Malachi Smith in the 13. The Venom Racing driver has moved up 2. He's in P4. Donald Ingram in the 10 car. He has stayed even in P5. Randy Shreves, Cale Smith, Chatham, Hines, and Ingram are your top 10.
Yeah, and with that wreck happening up front, Cale Smith was able to clear a lot of that and has worked his way all the way back up to it. Looks like he's sitting in 8th now.
So
from
look
an
for
EOL,
the 115 coming.
Yeah, from an EOL all the way back up to 8th. We'll see if he can pick up some more here.
Chris Cox is off. He's got the 15 behind him. Everyone's starting on that low side. Chris Cox, Carter, Grandy, Smith, Ingram. Now the 115 back in the picture.
Almost single file all the way down the backstretch, except for that 115 of Cale Smith, working into the top 5 right now. P5 for Cale Smith, only 7 laps into this thing, all the way from the back.
Pulls up to the rear bumper of that 13, tries to get it turned down, gets in contact from the 10 car. He is able to hold on to it. Chris Cox up front. He's pulling away from Michael Carter in P2. Joseph Grandy, top 3, riding comfortable. Cale Smith into 115, battling it out with the 13 car. That is Malachi Smith. Cale Smith now up to P4.
Yeah, once again, you saw the 13 come off a turn 4 last lap, and the front ends of these late models have almost like a shovel. We've got big contact out of turn 4, but the front of these late models have basically a shovel type of nose, and the 13 got under the 115 and picked him up, and he had to basically walk it sideways down the whole backstretch to avoid spinning out. What a save by the 115.
See the 181 and the 40 in front of these guys, and then it's just mayhem after that. No one missing that contact. Chris Cox still at the front of the field. I'm not sure if these cautions hurt or help that 515.
Yeah, I can tell you if caution laps were counting, it would not be a problem just sitting around riding up there. You don't want to take wins the easy way, but sometimes if that's the only thing you can get, it's worth it. But he's still got 17 green flag laps that he has to complete with with Michael Carter behind him, and we know how fast he's been recently.
Yeah, there's only 24 points separating your top 2. Michael Carter is your points leader in that 15 car. Chris Cox in the 515 is the reigning champion. He's currently second in the points. Randy Shreves, where is the 56? Looks like he's in P6. He is third, or P7. He is third in the points. So the front 2 running, the 15 car is your points leader, has 6 wins on the season. Chris Cox has not won yet in a limited late model. So that 515, the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa, is looking for a victory here in the limited late models to close the points gap and punch his ticket to the Dash for Cash.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the 115 has. Now that he's been able to pick up a few spots and now this yellow has come out, and he's right behind him. We'll see what he has planned for the top 3 in front of him here.
Good restart by the 515. Everybody goes with him. Not a big advantage. Cox, Carter, Smith, Grandy, the 115. He's going to dive it down low, try to get underneath Grandy. He'll do it. He fits that 115 to the outside. He's going to run the middle lane. No place for Grandy to go. So Cale Smith, that was a super smart line that he ran. He left no room for the 518 to slide up. Move Cale Smith up to P. Well, not quite yet. They're going to battle it out.
Joseph Grandy's not letting him have it too easy. Cale and Grandy are going to make contact off of 4 wide behind him off of the corner. Looks like Shreves, the 10 of Ingram, Gavin Chatham, and the 66 of Jason Haynes. We're 4 wide off of turn 4 there, right behind Cale and Joseph Grandy.
We're on lap 11 of 25 in week 10. These guys are racing like it's the dash for cash. They are getting after it.
Yeah, Cale Smith, another crossover onto Joseph Grandy. These guys are definitely putting on a show, but it's cool to see, but the laps are ticking away, and Michael Carter and Chris Cox are slowly pulling away from these guys. They have to single out if they want to catch the front 2.
I have not seen anyone run a similar line as the 115. He is blocking that slide job by running that middle line. I have not seen that before and actually never thought about it, but he is getting it done. Cale Smith up to P3. He's up 6 from the start. Up front, we're about to have a battle. That is Chris Cox and Michael Carter. Chris Cox able to hold off Carter. Those two went side by side. Is the 15 car measuring the 515 there, showing that nose, seeing if he can't get that 515 to make a mistake up there. Slide job coming, 15 down low, slides up Chris Cox with the crossover. They will be side by side down the backstretch. Cox down low. He will return the favor, and Carter will fall in line. So now you have Cox, Carter, Smith. Carter will give it a go once again. Slide job coming. Yeah, that has got to be close. Chris Cox able to make the crossover move. He moves back into the lead. That 15 car with a good run off the top side. Those two make contact. Now Cale Smith in the 115. His teammate is the 15 up Michael Carter. He watched those two do battle in front of him. Cale Smith up to P2. Chris Cox, still your leader, into the outside wall. Cale Smith, Michael Carter in P3. Joseph Grandy, we heard a little bit of controversy there between the 15 and the 518. On lap 18 of 25, what's in store for us, Clayton?
I think if Carter can get back up to him, which he's showing he can, especially if the front 2 are going to keep fighting like they are, Michael Carter will get back up there, and he's not one to let an incident go without returning the favor. He's got a Dale Senior type of vibe to him. He can get it done when he needs to, and he does not take anything from anybody. So if he can get up there to Chris Cox, there's going to be a favor returned, that's for sure. Here he comes right now, poking to the bottom of his teammate, going into 1.
Chris Cox and Michael Carter down low. Cale Smith running the high line. That is teammates in the 115 and the 15 trying to catch the 515. Now Joseph Grandy, he's going to take advantage of these two teammates battling. Grandy will sneak to the inside in the 518. So the battle is for that final podium position. Chris Cox able to open up a little bit of a lead over Michael Carter.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what Joseph Grandy's going to do here. If he can, I know they had some issues in the modifieds. If Joseph Grandy gets up there, I don't know if he'll be 2 for 2 having incidents with Michael Carter tonight.
Chris Cox leading the field, lap 22 of 25. Michael Carter P2, Cale Smith. Now Grandy dives it down low, trying to get underneath the 115. Grandy not able to close the deal. Cale Smith holds on to P3. Up front, Chris Cox, Michael Carter, 1-2 in the points. 1-2 in the race. Michael Carter is your points leader. Chris Cox needs this win like nobody's business to close in on that 15's points lead. He is your reigning limited late model champion in the 515. Michael Carter is trying to become his first-time champion on Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. The two battling it out side by side.
There it goes.
Little bit of contact. 15 not going to cut the 515 any slack, as you heard. Now his teammate, the 115 of Cale Smith, is going to fall in line.
Yeah, and Chris Cox is not going to have an opportunity to throw a slider type of line, and he just
makes contact with 1 to go. Cale Smith takes over the lead.
That will be a DQ for Chris Cox.
That was something else. Unfortunately, we are hearing a possible DQ for the 15. Contact made there. The 15 the 515 into the back of the 15. Oh my goodness. Cale Smith. Sorry, top 3 start finish line, please. As we were getting the replay, we got the top 3 heading to the start finishing line. So let's get a quick podium shot here.
Yeah, definitely some contact behind Chris Cox, but he just never lifted going into the corner, and he must have forgot about his first move tonight on Michael Carter and didn't like it being repaid.
Looks like I'm showing Chris Cox in P2. What are you showing, Clayton?
Chris Cox will be finishing this race in 17th with the DQ.
Who are your top 3?
I've got Cale Smith, Donald Ingram, and Randy Shreves in the 56.
Cale Smith, Donald Ingram, Randy Shreves to the broadcast booth, please. Man, I was looking at the incident. I didn't know we would end under caution, but looks like we did. So we will get a quick interview from the drivers if we can. Kind of some craziness there at the end. Let's see. We got Cale Smith, Chris Cox. You got Randy Shreves?
Yes, Cale Smith, Donald Ingram, Randy Shreves, 1, 2, 3.
Randy Shreves is yours. He's in the booth.
Hey, Randy, it's Clayton up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Clayton.
Hey, buddy. So watching you kind of be the sneaky guy throughout this race, you know, staying kind of quiet, letting those guys battle it out in front of you like that hard. You know, what got you back up to P3 to finish out with another podium tonight?
Honestly, man, I didn't even know I got third until my ticker changed and said that I got third. I was like, wow, I thought I got fourth after everybody had crashed, but yeah, if that didn't happen, I'd probably still be up in there and probably 5th or 6th.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to thank for this evening?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Coulter West at Redline Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, Get Your Six Racing Network, Top Tier Race Control, Gears Unlimited for everything they do, the Dirt Track Bank, Coast to Coast, just everybody for watching. And yeah,
awesome, buddy. We're gonna see you come run the sprint cars.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. Randy Shreves finishing out P3 on the podium tonight. Good job, Randy.
Clayton.
Yes, sir. It was a wild night. It was a rough track. Only the one line up top most of the time, but I got lucky there at the end with whatever happened in the front. I didn't even see it. I was just focused on my line, and somehow made it through. Yeah, I've actually been running better in them than I have everything else this season.
You know what, man? I've been commenting on that. You guys didn't even own sprint cars at the end of the last season, and now you and Jesse are up at the front of the field in sprint cars. So, man, that's great to see. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
Thank my brother, my dad, Chris Cox Gaming, and you guys for putting all this on.
Yeah, man. So we'll see you in the sprint cars.
Yep, see ya.
All right, gonna bring in the winner here, Cale Smith. Cale Smith is Clayton up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Clayton.
Hey, buddy. So, seeing an EOL tonight for you, I believe. Yeah, an EOL on lap 1 sent you all the way to the back, man. What was your key to success getting all the way back up to the front and winning this race tonight?
Well, to be honest, probably cautions. Yeah, the beginning there, I got a good start on green, and I think I got under Jesse, and that was my fault there, so I apologize to him. But you know, the cautions would come out and gain a couple spots here and there, and then you know, as everybody's you know, trying to pass each other and just working the wheel, I was running the bottom and got a couple spots there, and ended up getting up into that top 4, and then us top 4 were just, you know, racing back and forth, and that was pretty interesting. Unfortunate ending to that, but that was definitely a good race, man. It was fun.
Yeah, from your perspective with that incident, you know, what was going on there between the 515 of Chris Cox and I believe your teammate Michael Carter in the 15?
You know, I think for the most part they're just racing for a while, throwing sliders and whatnot, and I kind of had the vantage point. You know, I kind of getting into each other a little bit, especially coming out of 4 there. As far as the last lap though, you know, I kind of filed in behind Michael going into 1 and 2 on the bottom there, and I was thinking, you know, this is a good spot to be. Maybe we can Parker 1 and 2, and then I saw Chris, you know, came across my nose going into 3, and I couldn't really see much after that. I just saw those 2 spin, and I kept it on the bottom, and then I guess I ended up winning it. So.
Yeah, we were commenting on it, bringing it up about halfway through, 3/4 of the way through the race, watching you not even have to run that slider line in 1 and 2, just be able to put it down there, and it looked like from here, just put the pedal to the floor and carry so much speed off of the bottom there in 1 and 2. Did the car feel as good as it looked from up here in the booth?
You know, I was kind of, because I was talking to Michael in Discord there, and I was telling him, hey man, I think the bottoms came in because, you know, I just keep it high against the wall, and then, you know, going into the corner, and you know, pretty much what you said, I wouldn't really lift, and it would just stick through there. But you know, I couldn't tell if I was actually really getting a good run, or if you know, the guys running the top line were getting in the wall or something. But you know, I don't know if it was luck or what, but it worked out.
Yeah, we were watching your lap times, and I was picking up on your speed. You had about 5 mile an hour more on average per lap on the bottom than the guys did up top, and they were running them clean. So even on clean laps, you were faster down there. Anybody you'd like to thank, give a shout out to for tonight?
Yeah, man. Thanks you, Clayton. You do a great job here. Thanks, Joe. Everybody at Got Your Six Racing Network, Friday Night Lights, Redline Race Designs. If anybody needs a wrap, they do great job on the wraps and the cars. My teammates, Michael Carter, Travis Anderson. Thanks everybody watching.
Awesome job. Well, there you have it, folks. Cale Smith, tonight's limited late model winner. We gonna see you in the sprint cars, buddy?
You know what? I don't know. Probably not. I did it last week. I was running okay, to be honest. I think I ended up getting in the top 5. I don't run those a whole lot, and then I clipped one of those tires on the bottom. But probably not tonight. I got a newborn, and can't let the wife, you know, have her for too long. I need to help out, so I appreciate it though.
Absolutely, been there, man.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on tonight's win, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Clayton, man. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There are your top 3. Again, we are running a little bit behind. We're going to take a quick break as we switch over to your nightcap. Those are going to be the 305 sprint cars. So we will be right back with the sprint cars.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen and women enlist in the armed forces for many reasons, including a sense of duty, patriotism, the adventure, travel, and adrenaline. Many continue their military service because they discover a brother and sisterhood, an identity, a team. When service members are injured or wounded and can no longer perform their military duties, they quickly find themselves removed from their team, no longer serving the purpose for which they trained.
I came back from Afghanistan in 2013, and it was kind of a trial and error of finding out, after the military, what's next in life.
Being forced to leave a military career filled with purpose and pride can be challenging. Some challenges may leave lasting scars. An illness, wound, or injury can make anyone question their worth and sense of belonging after military service.
35 years in the Army, and I needed something to transition into. And so from that transition came an idea, and the idea was this.
Even though a military career may be coming to an end, or already ended, recovery can occur in the most unexpected places with unforeseen opportunities. Recovery, whether physical or mental, has no defined beginning or ending. It may last a lifetime.
For me, one of the biggest surprises that I found out going through it was that it's not like the flu where, you get sick and then you get better. You're never cured. And that's so frustrating. It's so hard to tell someone that. And it's so easy to slip back, and every single time you have to find a new way to fight it, it's a different monster every time you battle it.
This can feel daunting to a warrior who is suddenly forced to leave everything they know, trust, and love, finding themselves at the beginning of an unknown and possibly frightening new journey. Welcome to the world of motorsports.
We're in the right place at the right time in our lives to be able to take these guys that are wounded and put them in front of people that can actually show them that there is a camaraderie, there's a brotherhood within the motorsports industry, that there is potential for career opportunities for them if they have the skill set.
Motorsports offers an opportunity to regain that sense of identity within a safe, fast-paced team environment, providing a renewed sense of purpose. It has many facets, all created by teams working together for success on the track. Like in the military, in motorsports the goal is in accomplishing the mission, winning as a team, collectively celebrating the successes and supporting teammates through the losses. Through motorsport opportunities, Operation Motorsport assists medically transitioning service members and veterans with discovering new ways of achieving a renewed sense of hope, purpose and pride.
Besides the basic brake changing, oil changing, tire rotation, I've actually learned how to assemble and disassemble some engine parts, change some axles, do some alignments and stuff. So give it a try. You never know. This was nothing that I expected. I did not expect to be fully suited, jumping over a wall while cars are going 100 and something miles an hour.
From motors to media, tires to tickets, and hot laps to hospitality. Operation Motorsport provides beneficiaries the chance to become immersed within professional motorsports and provides them with the opportunity to find out firsthand what captivates their imagination and interest. These opportunities provide an avenue of discovery within the motorsports immersion or diversionary therapy programs, all within the Excite, Engage, and Empower recovery programs. Operation Motorsport also offers virtual engagements and recovery opportunities through an iRacing league, engaging beneficiaries in a safe, competitive environment from the comfort and safety of their home. Meeting other like-minded people, service members and veterans on the virtual racetrack, opening the doors to Motorsport Academy programs that prepare beneficiaries for their first encounters at the racetrack, and possibly leading to a day when they can get behind the wheel.
A team environment's a perfect place for people like us to kind of get back into some kind of normalcy when you go through a lot when you get medically discharged. And it kind of sucks and you put through the ringer, but I feel like what Operation Motorsport's doing is something that's just really valuable.
Operation Motorsport prides itself in keeping beneficiaries engaged after the race weekend, throughout their recovery and beyond, through our recovery programs, or as a member of the 22 pit crew. No matter the background or story, Operation Motorsport is always there to listen, provide a safe and comfortable space, and a trusted circle of confidence that is open and honest about what difficulties may lie ahead for those transitioning out of a military career. Operation Motorsport believes in the power of team, identity, and purpose.
Welcome back. We are with the Ravens Graphics 305 Sprint Cars. At Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights, we're about to get underway. We are running a little bit behind time, so we will try to get caught up. We will call the drivers off the track here. Welcome aboard, and here we go. All drivers clear the track. All drivers clear the track, please. All right, drivers, welcome to Week 10, Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. This is the Raven Graphics 305 Sprint Cars. I don't see any new drivers that haven't been here before, so we are running a little bit behind. We are going to advance to qualifying here momentarily. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the drivers? None heard. I'm counting on you guys. It's been a rough night with caution. So the 305 Sprint Cars to close out the night. Counting on you guys to put up a good show. Again, I wish you the best of luck. We are advancing to qualifying. So there you have it. We're trying to get to qualifying as quickly as we can. Cautions tonight have put us a little bit behind in time. So we only have 12 drivers out on track. We're getting ready to go qualifying. We will follow. Let's see who is first out on track. It looks like the 181. Nope, it's the 518 of Joseph Grandy. So we'll follow along with the 518 as he comes out on track. Joseph Grandy good and about whatever he drives, the 515. Also out on track, the Cox Gaming driver in the 515. Driver out of Des Moines, Iowa. Samuel Bachman in the 007 IBP entry. Gavin Chatham with us in the 24. Joseph Grandy top of the board with a 17,971. Jeffrey Kemper in P2, 972 for Kemper. Randy Shrees top of the board, 17,876 in the 56 machine. He is your current points leader. Grandy back to the top of the board. 518, not going to give in that easy. 181 wraps up P4. Gavin Chatham now, he edges out Shrees with a 17,764. Jason Hines in the 66, driver out of Canada. He will be a P4. Your spring champion, Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights, Anthony Marvulio out on track. Let's see how the 238 can do here. He drives midgets in real life. So let's see. Jesse Ingram currently 10th quick, 18,273. Marvulio coming off at turn 4. Sixth quick for Anthony Marvulio. James Ingram wrapping up 11th quick. We'll go back with Marvulio. He's the last car out on track. Coming off a turn 4. Will he have anything for the top group? Moves up 5th quick. 17,938 for Anthony Marvulio. So there is qualifying. That went by in a big hurry. Still waiting on Carson Nicholson and Butch Baker to qualify. We'll see if those drivers come out. Currently, Grandy, Chatham at the top of the board, followed by Shreves, Hines, and Marjulio. Let's take a quick look at your point standings. Randy Shreves, Joseph Grandy, Chris Cox, Jason Hines, Jeffrey Kemper are your top 5. Randy Shreves with 4 wins currently in the 305 sprint cars. Grandy with 2, Chris Cox with 1. Anthony Marjulio, he's 6th in the points. He has 1 win in that 238 machine. So it looks like we're about ready to get the night underway. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. Joseph Grandy, Randy Shreves on the front row. Anthony Marjulio, Donald Ingram in row 2. Luke Hines, Jesse Ingram in row 3. Butch Baker rounds out your field of 7 drivers. I don't think Butch Baker is going to run with us. Leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Initial start is on green. Do not jump to start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. Race hard. Race clean. Good luck. Grandy and Shreves on the front row. Butch Baker did make it. You can see that 97 car there in the back. The Venom Racing driver missed qualifying, however, made the grid for Heat 1. Clayton, what are you thinking?
Again, I gotta go with Randy Shreves, especially just from what we saw last week. You know, he's on the outside, heat race up front. I think Randy Shreves will be able to pull away here.
56 is the favorite. Watch that 238 coming on the out of the inside of row number 2. He won last week. I think it was last week. He has 1 win so far in this winter season. He is your spring champion here at Gears Unlimited. We'll see if Anthony Marjulio can get it done on the inside of row number 2. But never count out that 518 of Joseph Grandy. So we're getting ready to go 8 laps. Everybody advancing to the feature. As they enter turn 3, Joseph Grandy will bring us to the green flag. Grandy, Shreves, Ingram, Marjulio, your top 4. Donald Ingram has his brother Jesse Ingram right behind him there in the on the outside line. Green flag is out. We are underway. Marjulio is going to look down low early. Will he go from the second row to the lead? Marjulio down low. They are side by side. Marjulio making that bottom side work. Will he slide up? Is there room to get in front of Grandy? He will do it. Little bit of contact made. Marjulio to the point. Marjulio, Joseph Grandy, Randy Shreves. Once Marjulio gets out front, let's see how the 238 does. Again, he is a prior champion here at Gears Unlimited. He sent me a cool picture today of himself and his newborn baby in a Dirt Track Bank t-shirt that we sent out. So, Anthony, thank you for your support, my brother. At the front of the field, Joseph Grandy P2, Randy Shreves P3, Donald Ingram in the 10 car is P4. Butch Baker trying to make it through the field. He's battling out with Jesse Ingram and Luke Hines in this mellow yellow 17. Baker, gets up into that outside wall. Saw that one coming.
Yeah, Grandy there in P2 looking to possibly put a fight back on the 238 here.
Grandy down low, slide job coming. Will the crossover work? Grandy got a good run. There was no room for a crossover. 238's going to try the return the favor. Grandy with the crossover. It will be Grandy at the line in the 518. Marjulio P2, Randy Shreves in P3. Shreves now taking a look down low.
Yeah, as they fight for positions, just like we saw in the late models. You know, once you guys get side by side like that and start losing a lot of momentum throwing slide jobs and stuff like that. Whoever that single car is behind the battle always gets included in it within a few laps, being able to catch up like that. So with Randy right here on the back of Anthony here going into 3, I wonder if Randy can get around him and possibly make a run. Only with 1 to go, I think, if anything, Randy could possibly get second. But Anthony looks very strong right there in that 238 this race.
Yeah, Shreve's slide job coming. I have a feeling maybe he tries it there. He pulls even with the 238. Will Marjulio. Shreves leaves the bottom open. Coming off a turn 4. They're side by side. It will be Grandy, Shreves, Marjulio, your top 3.
Very, very impressive start on that 238 though. That was really good to see him be able to get to the bottom like that and clear both of them almost off of turn 2 on the first lap of that heat race they were just running.
Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. Gavin Chatham, Jason Hines on the front row. Jeffrey Kemper, Chris Cox in row 2. Samuel Bachman, Carson Nicholson round out your field of 6 drivers. All right, leader. 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. You got 8 laps to get it done. Race hard or race clean. Good luck. So the 66 on the outside of the front row has been really strong as of late, but the 24 of Gavin Chatham, sprint cars are his specialty. So we will see how this goes on this front row.
Yeah, and now I ask you, Joe, what do you think for this heat race?
You know, I want to pick Gavin Chatham on the pole. The 66 has improved just in the last few weeks that I've watched. I think that 66 might be the car to beat on that outside.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Jason has definitely stepped up his game. I remember first starting these. I don't even remember the paint or the name. And then these last few weeks, last few months, more than likely, I would say, he has just slowly been higher and higher up every Friday night when it comes to the final results.
Yeah, man, he keeps improving his finish, but we'll see. Maybe the 24 car of Gavin Chatham can hold him off on the inside of row number 1. The 24 coming off of turn 4, looking for the green flag. The field is looking good. Chatham, Hines, Kemper, Cox, Bachman, they head towards the flag stand. The 24 flashing a little bit. That's not good. Jason Hines in P2. Will Gavin Chatham's connection fix itself? Chris Cox makes contact to the back of the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. Move Kemper up to P3. Samuel Bachman in the 007. He moves up to P4. Chris Cox now looks to the inside of the 007. Gavin Chatham with the lead, pulling out in front of that 66 of Jason Haynes.
Yeah, Chris Cox getting into the back of Kemper there. These cars, the front suspension on these cars do not have a lot of leeway. He's very lucky. I've seen some very, very minimal contact completely break either the left front or the right front and take you almost completely out of a race. So he's very lucky to keep that car on the track right now.
Gavin Chatham opening up over a half-second lead over Jason Hines in P2. Jeffrey Kemper currently in P3. Samuel Bachman still back in P4. Chris Cox falls in line in P5. Carson Nicholson did not make the grid.
Yeah, Gavin Chatham has completely checked out, almost half of a straightaway already on Jason Haynes right there in P2.
Chatham, Haynes. Chatham's running a little bit different line. He's running a slider line, running on that bottom, sliding up to the outside. We have not seen enough room on the track thus far to see that, Clayton. Now he's trying to use that line, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, it almost these sprint cars remind me a lot about road racing when it comes to the momentum and cornering a track. You know, it's almost identical to a road car. You get down to the apex, down to the bottom, and then carry the momentum all the way to the outside. And Gavin is giving us a clinic right now on how to perform that the right way in a sprint car.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do. 66 trying to mimic that line now. So Gavin Chatham, as we see more times than not, P2 is seeing the line that 24 car is running. He's going to try to do the same as Jeffrey Kemper keeps the 181 up high. 1 lap to go. Chatham over a 2.5 lead in 8 laps over the 66. Chatham will take the victory. Haynes P2, Kemper P3, Samuel Bachman, and Chris Cox. 3 minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 minutes of warm-up. We will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. The issue has been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
We're getting ready for your nightcap. We got 30 laps in the 305 sprint car, so we're getting ready to grid the field here for your feature. Feature to the grid, please. Let's take a look at your grid here momentarily. Joseph Grandy, Gavin Chatham on the front row, Randy Shreves, Jason Haynes in row 2, Anthony Marfulio, Jeffrey Kemper in 3, Donald Ingram, Samuel Bachman in 4, Butch Baker, Chris Cox in row number 5. Luke Hines, Carson Nicholson in row 6, Jesse Ingram in row number 7. All right, leader, 1.5 car length behind the pace truck, please. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself and the car in front of you. The initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start-finish line. You got 30 laps to get it done. Race hard. Race clean. Put on a great show. Good luck. Who you got, Clayton?
Gotta look over the field here. I want to say that I'm gonna go with the That's 66. Jason Haynes. I'm gonna go with Jason Haynes this time. I think him up.
Haynes.
I think him up top is a good. Him and the top line is a good combination in these sprint cars. Keep the momentum up. Put down some fast lap times. Let the guys on the bottom tussle and have to check up for each other. The only reason I pick Jason is because I have, well, not I, but Gavin is in front of him. I think Gavin can get up there, hold it down wide open, and be able to run the top, while Jason Henry and Joseph Grandy down there on the bottom have to check up for each other. I think Haynes. How about you?
I think Randy Shreves will fall back early, and then as we saw in the limited late models, he always seems to find a line. So I think the 56 car will be there at the end, but we're about to find out as the 518 comes off at turn 4, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. They are even at the line. That is Joseph Grandy and Gavin Chatham at the front of the field. Grandy will dive it down low, get up to the outside line. Shreves stuck down low. Now Hines goes down low. I'm surprised to see that. Now Shreves is able to move up on the top line and take over the second position. We got a mess back here.
They're just locked into each other on the front stretch here. That's going to bring out the yellow. I think with everybody crossing the line, too, I think it made those results official. I don't think anybody, any of them will have to go to the back here.
Gavin Chatham in the 24 on the outside. That's Hines on his inside. They don't make contact. Chatham is able to hold on to it. Then you got Marjulio in the 238 coming up from the bottom side. He's running a slider line. Those two make a little bit of contact. 24 gets sideways. 181. That jams up the field. The 007 is involved. So those three.
It's a big chain reaction of contact there off of 4. No EOLs for that one.
Check out Jeffrey Kemper's car driving down pit road right now. 30 degrees to the right. That car's got some significant damage.
See if we can find a view of that before we go back green here. A lot of contact by that 181. Oh yeah, crab walking big time. Trying to make it down pit road. That car is damaged.
Yeah, these cars are built to go sideways on the right rear, not on the left rear like that. So thankfully they got, I believe, what is it, Joe? They have one fast repair for damages?
They have one. Yes, sir.
Thankfully, he's able to get that thing back on track here before we go green. Now he's just got to hope, him and Chatham back there have to hope that they can stay clean. If not, another hit like that and their night could be over very soon.
Joseph Grandy, Randy Shreves at the front of the field. It is Grandy who will take the green flag. Great restart by Grandy. Randy Shreves in P2. Marjulio, as we have seen time and time again, he's going to work the bottom side. It's not going to work for him as Jason Hines, he pulls up. Marjulio's not quite done yet. He's battling on the bottom side. We have not seen that work tonight. If anybody can get it done, it is the 238 of Anthony Marjulio.
Yeah, he's got that car glued to the bottom, a lot like we saw Cale Smith's late model. Nobody else is able to go down there and run as fast as he's able to right now. So he's got one wicked fast setup in that 238 car right now, and it is clearly showing right here. Still battling with the 66. 66 looks like he has some momentum off of 2. He is going to clear him. We'll see if Anthony falls behind and stays up top with him or goes back to the bottom.
Back to the bottom for the 238. We will do our version of Turn It Up. So we will let you listen to the cars and various camera views on the track.
We've got a big wreck. Looks like Randy Shreve just gets the right rear up into the wall a little too much. Jason Haynes not able to check up behind him, causing Haynes to make contact, which involves the 238 as well. Marfulio hit hard into the outside wall. Yeah, he makes contact into the 56 of Shreve's coming back down onto the track once he came off the wall. That one's going to be on the 56.
Joseph Grandy
Car
still
5-6,
at the front of the field.
5-6.
As you heard, Randy Shreve's in the 56 with an EOL. So that is your points leader heading to the back of the field. Joseph Grandy could capitalize if Randy Shreves can't work his way back through the field. Donald Ingram now in P2, and Butch Baker moved up to P3. So the Venom Racing driver in the 97, he is up 5-6 positions from his start. Luke Hines in the 17. Clayton, it's like the whole front of the field is in the back except for Grandy, and the back has moved to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody expected those three to get into it like that. You know, Marfulio and Jason Haynes go to the back just because they were involved. The 56 having contact, I mean, that just moves 2, 3, 4 all the way to the back and brings 5, 6, 7 up. Gavin Chatham already back into the top 5 with that penalty and that incident. He's overcome his. Let's see if he can battle to the front. The 97 of Butch Baker, like you said, already up into third. We'll see what these guys got.
Pace truck is off. We're getting ready to go back green. Joseph Grandy needs a great points night to move up in front of Randy Shreves in the points lead. He's coming off of turn 3, about to exit turn 4. Restart is on the leader. We are off. Good restart by Grandy. Donald Ingram in P2 in the 10. Butch Baker in the 97 in P3. Donald Ingram's going to dive it down low to see if he can't get underneath Grandy. That did not work. That opens up a big lead for Grandy. Butch Baker battling it out. Chatham now down low. He's going to try to get underneath. We got a group of cars running the bottom side.
Yeah, Gavin went to the wall there and picked up 2 positions on one straightaway there with the run that he had off of 2. 007 up into the wall. They're flipping. That's
couple of cars into the wall.
That is not a good sight.
Take
See
a
what
look.
happens here.
Looks like they make contact on the bottom there.
Yeah.
007 just comes down, gets into back of, I don't know who that was, 538 maybe?
Well, he gets into the back of the 238 of Anthony Marfulio. This one's going to be on the 007 coming down and getting into him like that.
Car 007 EOL.
I'm telling you, Clayton, we are having no luck tonight with cautions, man. This has been absolutely caution-filled.
Yeah, I think next week I'm gonna donate a $1 or $5 to Mission 22 for every caution, and by the end of the night they'll have an extra $1,000 towards that incredible charity.
Oh man, we have had a group of them for sure. We're getting ready to go back to green. Joseph Grandy at the front of the field. Donald Ingram and Butch Baker are your top 3. Gavin Chatham is able to move up. He saw him sliding underneath the 97.
Yeah, Gavin Chatham on that last restart made that wall almost invisible and was able to go up there and just sail it around the top side. And with him picking up 2 spots, the 7 and the 17, he was able to clear before they even got to 3. I wonder if he can do it. If he can pull off 1 or 2 more of those, we might be talking about the 24 in the first position here in a few laps.
So Grandy, Ingram, Baker, Pace truck should exit this time by. Where is Randy Shreves? Randy Shreves, we got the 181 running a wingless sprint style here. No top wing. As you heard, he didn't have any quick repairs left. Right front towed out, no top wing, so he'll be hurt going around here.
Oh boy, I just noticed that with a big front wing still on it. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Jeffrey Kemper, the driver out of Oregon, he's driving something that doesn't look like a 305 sprint car for sure. Let's see if he can hold on for the rest of the night. He's looking just for a finish here. It is Butch Baker in the 97. He pulls underneath Donald Ingram. Gavin Chatham thought about going even lower. There was no room there. Chatham in P4, looking underneath the 97. 97 and the 10. They settled it. Butch Baker, will he get up to the top side? Baker likes it down low in the 97. He'll keep that car down there. Good run off the top side by the 10 car. That is Donald Ingram. Up front, Joseph Grandy checking out on the field. The 518 likes what he sees in his rearview mirror if he runs one. Gavin Chatham, he's able to get by the 97. The 518 didn't want to see that. The 24 car is coming. And now we will put them back together at the front of the field as caution comes out once again. Looks like the 238 of Anthony Marvulio involved.
Yeah, it looks like Jason Haynes just kind of steps on it to get into the corner in the slick, and it throws the right rear out into the 238. 66 will be going to the back for this
one. Car 66 EOL.
238 into that outside wall. I'm pretty certain that he doesn't have any quick repairs left either. We may end up with a group of wounded cars running around the bottom here at the end, Clayton.
Yeah, a couple more flips and it'll look like a USAC type of race. Every one of them will start looking like Jeffrey Kemper's here. It's kind of funny to look back there and see that Jeffrey Kemper is actually leading two cars right now behind him that are still completely together.
Yeah, man. We're getting ready to go to USAC race tomorrow night. The Hangtown 100 is in town in Placerville. Bunch of the USAC guys. So we're going to watch that. We saw Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott last year at the Hangtown 100. So, yeah, we bought pit passes today, and we'll be there tomorrow night. So that's pretty cool. We're going to scout the track for when we run there.
Absolutely. I've got that one marked. On Flow Racing. I'll be tuning in tomorrow. So,
man, maybe I'll bring a big sign and see if I can't get on screen for you.
I'll be looking.
Joseph Grandy, Butch Baker, Donald Ingram. So Gavin Chatham does not get to keep P2. 24 car. Man, he put on a good show. He got up to P2 pretty quick. We are working lap 14 of 30. Let's see if he can't do that once again. Again, we got to look at that 181 car. That is Jeffrey Kemper in the wingless 305 sprint car. Pace truck should exit this time by. And the pace truck is off. Gavin Chatham, let's see if he can't work that magic coming off starting P4 here. Single file restart. Butch Baker right up to that rear bumper, making contact with Grandy.
Hey, you don't want to see that coming to the green. That could be a penalty if that would have turned him in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. So Butch Baker, Donald Ingram, now Gavin Chatham. Let's keep an eye on that 24 car. As Baker gets into the outside wall, Chatham will go underneath both of those cars. Butch Baker squeezes down, leaves no room for the 24. Gavin Chatham may have to go to the back of the field here. You see the 24 car underneath the 10. That is Ingram. Dives it down low.
Yeah, it's just Chatham coming up off the bottom. Remember his slider line that he was running during his heat race all by himself. And I mentioned if there's a car with him, that's almost impossible to run, and he just proved it right there.
Car 2-4, EOL 2-4.
As you hear, the 2-4 will go to the back of the field once again. Still has time to get back through the field as we got a lot of wounded cars in the back of that field. So let's see if the 2-4 can battle his way back here. Joseph Grandy has led from the drop of the green flag. We are on lap 15 of 30. It's getting late in the night back there on the East Coast there, Clayton.
Yeah, we're pushing 10 o'clock. Thankfully it's a Friday. Nothing huge coming up tomorrow. Just enjoy the day. So nothing I'd rather do to kick off my weekend.
Yeah, man. 8 o'clock, I'm looking for bed. 10 o'clock,
Oh, yeah.
hold my smoke. That's staying up all night to me.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get old, I guess. Joseph Grandy will roll off P1. He's got Butch Baker to his rear bumper. Now without the 24 car, let's see what the 17 can do. That is Luke Hines.
Yeah, Joseph Grandy's looked pretty strong, but we're not. I mean, we're going to be going green only halfway through this race. So Butch Baker there in the 97 has a little bit of strategy that he can still, change around, adjust to. It's not like he's got 5 laps to get it done. He's still got 15 to make it up and get that one spot.
Grandy is on the loud pedal. We're back under green. Butch Baker P2, Ingram P3. Your early favorites, Randy Shreves running back in P7, Marjulio P8. Gavin Chatham back there battling it out with that 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. Kemper putting in a valiant effort. That car up into the outside wall. Joseph Grandy on the point, pulling away a little bit from Donald Ingram. Ingram's going to battle it out with Baker here. They are side by side. 10 car, looks like the bottom line is the preferred line. 97, what a move that was.
What a crossover there. But yeah, as they continue to fight for second, Joseph Grandy has just pulled away. So that's nothing better you want to see in your mirror than the guys behind you fighting.
10 car, 97 car. Go ahead. Oh!
Both of our picks, if they can make it through, they did. They just made it through that. I was just about to talk about it. Both of our picks, Jason Haynes and Randy Shreves, both just made it through that wreck. So that's a free couple spots right there.
So we are back under caution once again. 17 car and the 7 car. The 10 car got into the wall in front of these guys all by themselves. Now I see the top wing of the 24 rolling down the backstretch.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. It looks like the 7 and the 17 just kind of come up and down into each other here off the corner. Crossover attempt, and then they both meet back in the middle. It's going to be one of those chain reaction type of incidents. No EOLs from this one, but tough to see.
Don't look now. Chris Cox in that 515 is up to P3. Jason Hines has moved up to P4. I see Shreves in the pits. Don't see who else I saw there. Working lap 20 of 30. Joseph Grandy has led since the drop of the green flag. Got Butch Baker behind him. Chris Cox in the 515 has moved up to P3.
And we thought Randy Shreves made it through that. I did not see Randy Shreves. He made contact with the inside wall, avoiding that. So he had to come down pit road and take his fast repair. That's going to put him at the back of this with some damaged cars in front. they're not as predictable as normal now. So he's going to have to be, one, aggressive-ish. He's only got 10 laps. He's only got 10 laps to get it done, but at the same time, he's listening to drivers. At the same time, he's got to be careful because of the guys in front of him.
Yeah, man, that's pretty. I was listening to the drivers also, letting Jeff Kemper know that he's missing a top wing.
This isn't a USAC official race.
Grandy, Butch Baker, Chris Cox, your top 3. Jason Hines, Donald Ingram are your top 5. Joseph Grandy will get the restart here. Grandy is off. Butch Baker in P2. Good start by Grandy. Now let's see if the 515 can work on the 97. 515 and the 66 down low. Baker into the outside wall. That car gets a big wiggle off the exit of turn number 2, I believe it was.
Yeah, he hit that wall a couple times on the restart of that on the restart there. He's still fighting it now. It looks like he's just catching the slick, and the rear end's just stepping out quite a few times there as he goes down to the bottom and cuts off Jason Haynes' momentum.
Haynes will keep the 66 up high. Gavin Chatham coming back into the picture, currently in P6 in that 24. He went in for a quick repair, so that car might be a little fresher than those in front of him, as Gavin Chatham is looking underneath the 10 car. He will make the pass, put Chatham up to P5. Grandy once again checking out on the field. Chris Cox P2. Jason Haynes battling it out with Butch Baker. 66 up to P3. Butch Baker back to P4. Gavin Chatham now. He's running behind that 97 car. See if the 24 can get there on lap 24 of 30. Oh, God, that was close. 97 slides up in front of the 66. About jumped out of my seat there, Clayton.
Yeah, that's just how these corners, we've got somebody completely off the track, completely out of the surface there. It looks like Jesse Ingram by himself, it appears. Looks like he just jumps the cushion. The car gets up on the bike into the wall, and yeah, completely up and over, destroys the wing, and it blew up as well. So Jesse Ingram out for this evening.
Jesse Ingram out in the parking lot, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's at the tailgate outside.
Just gets into that outside wall, as Clayton was explaining. That front tire climbs the wall, and away he goes.
I'm getting kind of hungry, so if he's done out there, maybe he can bring me back a hot dog.
That was something else, man. He almost landed in the front row. So, yeah, he's done for the night, I'm sure.
Well, late when we go green, we'll have 5 to go. You got a late race pick that has impressed you the most?
Man, you know what? Grandy's just going to be hard to beat because those guys get to battling behind him, and they just can't advance. If anyone can get there, I still have my eye on the 24 car. Gavin Chatham, he can wheel a sprint car. He's back there with Randy Shreves. Yeah, if anybody can get there, it's just how long it takes to get to that rear tail tank of the 518. That's going to be the issue.
Yeah, Chris Cox, we saw some late race drama in the late models, and I just realized him for the first time, already up to second. So he's been one of those keep the nose clean while everybody else has issues all night, and here he is riding, one spot out of a win tonight.
Yep, up 8 positions from his start. Butch Baker is up 6 in that 97. So the 97 car has been able to hang out. The Venom Racing driver has been able to be up front here. We saw Jason Haynes, however you say it, get close to Baker. And, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here as the pace truck exits, leaving the field to that 518, who has led since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, the top almost seems to kind of be coming back in. Joseph Grandy's been running up there. And with everybody going up there, it's kind of going to be a who can go to the bottom and possibly pick up a spot or two. But I think you're right here. Joseph Grandy's just got that clean air up front. Nobody to worry about fighting, as we see 2 and 3 already starting to battle here. I think Grandy can just put it up there and sail away with it.
So Grandy to the lead. Chris Cox, he's able to clear that 97 car. Cox running the middle lane here. He did close in a little bit. Let's check this time by. Chris Cox a little bit faster than your leader.
Yeah, 4 to go here. I don't know if he'll be able to get up there in time, but all it takes is one little wall tap from Joseph Grandy for this race to be over for him. Jason Haynes now up into 3rd. Chatham on the outside of Baker there for 4th. See if Chatham can clear him on the corner. He's behind the 66. Yep,
They will
Chatham
clear.
up for 4th.
Now Chatham dives down low in the 24. Will he be able to get in front of the 66? Yes, he will. That was tight. 24 up to P3. Sets his sights on the 515. We are in lap 29 of 30. Looks like Chatham gets into the outside wall a little bit. Can he close on the 515 of Chris Cox? Chatham on that extreme outside, as is Randy Shreves. Last lap, Joseph Grandy leads the field, followed by Chris Cox and Gavin Chatham. Grandy with 2 corners to navigate. The 518 gets off of turn 4, heading for the flag stand. Joseph Grandy for your feature win, followed by Cox and Chatham. Top 3 start finish line, please. Top 3 start finish line. Well, there you go. That was a long night. Sometimes races go that way. Once we get to the interviews here, if you want to get Gavin Chatham and Joseph Grandy, I'll get the interview with Chris Cox as they make their way towards the podium. We'll get these drivers into the broadcast booth for a quick interview. Not sure where Grandy went. Grandy's going to go to the victory lane here. Chris Cox. There he comes in the 518. As he makes his way around to victory lane. Gavin Chatham is already there. Chris Cox is on the front stretch, so we'll get a picture regardless. We'll make this work. Here comes the 518 for his podium shot. We will wait now for Chris Cox. Chris, you going to the podium? 10-4. Waiting for the 515 to take his position on the podium.
I think we can still get a photo, just rewinding a little bit on the footage.
Yeah, I may be able to make that work. Here comes Chris Cox in the 515. We will get an interview with these drivers here momentarily. All right, fellas, we'll see if I can make that work. Don't forget to go to your interviews.
Gavin Chatham coming up.
And I
Gavin,
will leave that to you.
Gavin, it's Clayton up in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Hey, Clayton, how's it going?
Hey, buddy. A lot of chaos for you this evening in the sprint cars, man. Seeing you take that fast repair. You know, a lot of people say the new tires don't really do anything on dirt. There's no such thing as tire wear. Do you think the tire change and the fast repair that you were given gave your car that little bit of extra speed that it needed to get back up to the podium here tonight?
Absolutely, it does. Any type of damage you have on these cars, especially these sprint cars, are so seems like they're so finicky. You get a little bit of damage on them, and it really, really slows your momentum down. So yeah, that fast repair. I knew we had a fast car, and it really, really sucks. I feel like we've been having some really crappy luck with a lot of race cars we could have won with this year, but to climb back up to 3rd, I feel pretty good about. I was definitely running a line. I think no one else was running on that bottom there. No one was able to run it like I could, and I definitely took that to my advantage.
Yeah, that we saw you doing the slider line pretty much by yourself there during the heat race. and I said it during the broadcast. You know, if there's a car to his outside, he will not be able to make that work, and that's you know, I hate to say you proved me right there when you came off of 4 up with the 97 there on your outside and had a little bit of contact and stuff like that. But just seeing you charge through the field, man, was super impressive. Anything else you took out of tonight? Anywhere you thought you had an advantage besides that bottom? Was there anywhere else?
That was really that bottom, and then I wouldn't call it a slider line. I wasn't doing the slider. I was really gripping onto the bottom there. Port Royal's nice because it's so wide, especially coming off the corners. There's a lot of room, and I have to look at the replay. I didn't see it, but I don't think I was given enough room there from the top side driver, but that's fine. But other than that, the bottom felt really good. I think not a lot of people were utilizing that, especially in the heat races. I used that a lot just to pull away. And then I started going to the top, and I found the top again the last couple laps there. And me and Jason had a good race there. I know I kind of parked it pretty close to the slide job there, but that's what you got to do to get positions in these type of races.
Absolutely, man. Who do you want to thank for your third place finish tonight?
I just want to thank you guys and everybody who puts this on. It's always a fun time coming out on Friday nights. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but it's always fun at the end of the day, and it's always nice. It's always nice to have a place to race, and it's always fun. So I thank you guys for that and putting this all on. I want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Eastern Outlaw Motorsports, Velocity Race Designs, Mike Schick Motorsports Designs, all the sponsors on the car to help us continue to race.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats tonight on P3, man. Good job.
Thank you, guys. We'll catch you. Have a nice weekend.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Chris Cox in the 515 brings that car home in P2. Chris, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, that was a long night, man. We had mayhem throughout the field, throughout the night. You were able to bring that 515 home. You moved up 8 from your starting position. How'd you move up 8? Were you avoiding incidents, or how'd you get there?
I just didn't even know the lines to start the feature. I went and dabbled up on the top and warm up, and that was just slow. So I just going into the feature, I just figured I'd just go where nobody was, and then I just started passing cars on the bottom. So I just stayed down there, and it seemed like it started working. So just basically I just send it, and just whatever I passed, I passed.
Yeah, man. Port Royale seemed to be a real challenge. Next week we head to Cedar Lake. Never thought I'd say, thank goodness we're headed to Cedar Lake, but after tonight, man, I'm ready for some caution-free racing. Great job in that 515, man. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
I'd like to thank MJC Desktop Fabrications. I'd like to thank Top Secret. I'd like to thank the Ingram brothers, or the Ingram family. I'd like to thank you for streaming this, and Top Tier for adminning.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Chris Cox, your second place finisher. Congratulations, Chris. I wish you a great weekend.
You too.
Joseph Grandy, tonight's winner in the 305 sprint cars. Joseph, is Clayton up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yep. How you doing, Clayton?
Hey, buddy, doing well, man. Not as good as you. Watching you dominate that race like you did, that's for sure.
I never run, to be honest with you. Jesus.
Yeah, I could never. Maybe in a modified or a late model, but not in these, man. You had its number tonight. How'd you get it done?
Port Royal's not my favorite track, but it's by far my best track. I have a hard time losing on it, honestly, and I'm kind of bummed I missed the 358s in it. But yeah, it's just that's a top side track, and you gotta know how to, feather it around the corner on the high side, or you're gonna run into the wall. I don't know. Everybody was running low. There wasn't that many people running high at the end, which I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I can tell you from the modified race, you would have had twice as many cautions as we had for the sprint car race. It was a very chaotic night through all 3 series, man. But what'd you take away from this one? Any pointers going forward? Anything you noticed that you could maybe improve on or anything?
Stay out of everybody's way, I guess. That's really about it.
Easy to do if you put it on the front like that and just drive away.
I got lucky on that one for sure.
Yeah. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
I'd like to thank the broadcast and the league and everybody that makes it run, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, we thank you, man. What a show you put on tonight.
Awesome. Well, have a good night, guy.
Yes, sir. You as well.
So Clayton, there you go. There is week 10, man. I am glad to get out of the state of Pennsylvania and this track. I'm a little bit frustrated, but as a fan of racing, man, caution laps do me no good. You got any final thoughts for the night?
Yeah, just the change in points in the modifieds, I believe that you stated that we saw. That's cool. Cool to see that that heat up. We only got a couple weeks left until the Dash for Cash, so we'll see who can tighten down the belts a little bit more for the final charge here. See if Michael Carter can pull away with a few points leads and get him a couple championships. The sprint cars, seeing Joseph Grandy dominate like that. Haven't seen him up front, in a few weeks, to my knowledge. It's been really Randy Shreves getting it done, and a lot of heavy hitters tonight were taken out in that sprint car race and still charged back on. So definitely, the track didn't go away. The racing didn't stop. That's you never stop racing until the checkered flag.
Yeah, man. So my takeaway is I can't wait to Cedar Lake, my brother. So I will leave you with that, man. Clayton, thank you for joining me in the booth, man. I hope you consider staying long time up in the booth. It's nice to have somebody up here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week at Cedar Lake, I wish you all a great weekend, and we will see you next time.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. We brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
On this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. This hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and like I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, you know, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity right now.